ready to prove it, I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time like the last time.
After falling short in the 2019 championship game, the Patterson U had one goal in mind for our back-in-motion season: domination. And dominate they did by going undefeated and holding up the A7FL championship. The same goal was set in 2021 as the Patterson U remained undefeated, scoring an average of 45 points a game and giving up an average of 12 points a game, with only 4 opponents scoring more than 1 touchdown on the U from week 1 until the championship game against the Trenton BIC. Now with a historic third title in their sights, the team comprised of the talented and record-setting duo of wide receiver Kareem Moon and quarterback Quattrell Huffin began their 2022 campaign with the same dominant pace that they set in 2021. And now for the Baltimore Gators, they are one of the cornerstone franchises of the A7FL, setting a standard not only for their home city, but the entire league with a dominant defense and Ace Boogie, aka John Gauge Jr., behind center, leading the team to be a perennial playoff and championship contender. The Gators and the U rivalry runs deep throughout the 8-season history of the A7FL, with the biggest matchup between the two being the 2018 championship game, where the Gators defeated the U for their first and only A7FL title. While the U would get revenge in a regular season matchup in 2019, the Gators were denied their chance at another championship clash with the U in 2021 when the Baltimore team fell to the BIC in the A7FL Final Four following a controversial pass interference call. And before we go to break, let's break down the keys to the game for both the Patterson U and the Baltimore Gators. First, for the team playing at home today, the Patterson U, they're going to have to maintain pressure. To remain undefeated, the U are going to have to do what they've done the last 2 seasons and keep the pressure going on both offense and defense. We're going to see a lot from Quattrell Huffin and a lot from Kareem Moon today, but they're going to have to open up on offense and tighten up on defense to keep the Gators at bay. Take nothing for granted is the next key for them. In pro sports, once you take things for granted, you fall by the wayside, and the U are going to have to keep playing like challengers if they want to remain champions. And most importantly, they're going to have to keep Quattrell Huffin clean. This Baltimore pass rush is considered to be the best in the league, with Jawan Lipscomb, Nick Mays, and Bear on that D-line. They're going to need everything in their power to avoid having their star QB on his back and giving up the ball this Sunday afternoon. And next up for the Gators, first thing they're going to have to do is give Ace Boogie time in the pocket. The Patterson U are monstrous on defense, and any time in the pocket will be crucial to keep the Gators in this game. And the next one is Deon McDaniel needs to be integrated in the run game. To counteract the U's blitzing, the Gators are going to need to get Deon McDaniel to be effective out of the backfield and help set up that Gators offense. Last but most certainly not least is winning the turnover battle. Games like these are won by whomever makes the least amount of mistakes, and with 2 dominant defenses on the field today, the possibility of turnovers are abound. Whichever team can limit turnovers will walk out of here with the win, and most importantly, give the opponents their first loss. When we return here, we're going to go right to the throw-off as we bring you no helmets, no pads, and all action. This is the A7FL's Games of the Week on Stadium. It may be cold and dreary here in Asbury Park, but the action of the A7FL is about to heat up. Here for our Games of the Week, you are looking live at Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey, as the Patterson U are about to take on the Baltimore Gators in a rematch of the 2018 A7FL Championship. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. Gentlemen, this is one of the most anticipated games on the calendar as we see the Patterson U get ready for this one. LJ Smith, I'm going to go with you first.
Yeah.
You know these teams very well. Corey, obviously you know them very well. You'll be playing in our 4 o'clock game here on Stadium. LJ, what about these 2 teams make them not only playoff threats, but championship contenders off rip?
So they both are, respectively, the best team out of their conferences, right? They're both, one team is I would say, like the representative of Baltimore, and you have one that represents, New Jersey. Powerhouses since the beginning, since they've been in the league, since they've been in A7. And again, one thing that's going to happen is it's going to come down to quarterback play. And I cannot wait to see what Quattrell Huff is going to do today.
And, talk about Quattrell Huff, you talk about quarterback play. Corey Hammond, you understand the position of quarterback in this league maybe better than anyone. What is it about Quattrell Huffin that makes him such an undeniable player?
Well, a lot of people will focus on a running quarterback and talk about how a quarterback can run. And that is a big aspect of this A7FL game that makes it a little bit different from the more typical football that you might be aware of coming into today's game. But what sets Quattrell Huffin apart is not only that he is mobile, he can run, he's an elite passer. There's TikTok and Instagram videos of him throwing the ball in the air 75 yards and hitting an upright on the throw-offs in this league. And his elite level arm talent is what separates him as not just a running back with the ball in his hands, playing the quarterback position, but a true quarterback that can run the offense, call a great game as far as game planning, and deliver dimes to his elite level wide receivers downfield.
Yeah, he's a true leader. And talking to him pregame, a few minutes ago, you could tell he's locked in. Just looking at him, he already has a game plan. This is good. This is a goodie. I couldn't wait to when I saw this on the schedule. I couldn't wait to see this game.
Yeah, early on in the season when we have these Baltimore, New Jersey matchups, there's a lot of rivalry that goes back all the way, like we said, even further back to the 2018 game, which was the only A7FL championship for the entire state of Maryland when the Baltimore Gators beat the U. But it's also been 2 championships in a row for the Patterson U. One of those being last year, obviously, against BIC in a great game. So,
and we're going to see them play each other next week. But the thing about the A7FL, we have these rivalries. We've expanded. We have teams all across the United States now. And these 2 teams, as you said, LJ, are the standard bearers of the A7FL. They truly are the cornerstones of this league as they continue to build out. The U with a new look this year, and you can see the puddle starting to form here in Asbury Park. A sloshy day outside, gentlemen, to say the least. And for me, I think that gives the U a big advantage because of the ability to play both sides of the ball very, very well. Huge
advantage. In fact, because the not only is that, but keep in mind that Baltimore just traveled 2 hours plus, in traffic, right? How everyone's stop and go in the New Jersey Turnpike. So they just traveled 2 hours plus to get here, now stretch, and now they got to play a U who's been here already for an hour stretch and ready to go. So that is a huge disadvantage.
Well, and a lot of times you watch games like this, we'll talk mostly about the smaller, faster, skinnier guys. But in a game where it's not really great weather, it's those big guys, the trenches, that are really going to decide the game.
And it'll be Jay Butcher taking the return here for the Patterson U. The interesting gambit here to start the game with the ball, but that's one of the things we talked about at the start of the program, is controlling the momentum, dictating the pace, making sure that you are in charge of your own destiny, and there's no team better than the Patterson U. Last week, they completely lit up the expansion Snow Tribe.
Yeah, they did.
And it was
cold-blooded, as I said.
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
And there's Quattrell Huffin getting ready for the throw-off.
Quattrell Huffin will be throwing this one off here. And he's joined by number 25. That's the Honey Badger, Tyron Brown.
And Joshua Butcher, that's on that return. I believe that's DK, right, back there?
DK Metcalf came on over.
Yeah, why not? The most exciting time of the game is the 3-on-1 throw-off. And again, if you just join us here, this is the opportunity where a player could just be able to just single-handedly.
It's the most exciting play in football.
And this is our version of the kickoff. You have the 3-on-1, one man with no blockers, 3 men trying to tackle him. And on the kickoff version of the change of possession, you can't throw it out of bounds and avoid the return. So whoever the returner is, unless it's Quattrell Huffin to throw it out of the back of the end zone, which he's very capable of doing, there's a chance for a return and a chance for a big play, guys.
Yeah, that's DK. That's his nickname. So I know a lot of people know DK Metcalf, right? That's his nickname right there, DK.
Well, he's got some big shoes to fill, literally, if he's going to be calling himself DK.
But the 3-on-1 makes it one of the things about the A7FL different. No pads, no helmets, all action, 7-on-7 football. As you can see, it's 100 yards from end zone to end zone, but the field cut in half a little bit. Corey, you can tell us.
Yeah, the width is from sideline to the second hash. which kind of squeezes the field a little bit more for the 7-on-7 format that we have, but there's still plenty of room for one-on-one matchups, mismatches, and you'll see a lot of big-time plays, especially from this Patterson U team.
Yep.
And we'll see if the Gators can match. And, you know, looking at what we're taking into account here, I think we should tell the audience that the U is the defending champs.
Back-to-back champions.
Back-to-back.
And that first championship in the tournament is, you know, a lot of people in this league are going to say is questionable. We'll go into that history later.
Are you throwing shade?
No, absolutely not. But
It feels like he's throwing a little bit of shade
there. Yeah.
as we get ready for the throw-off in a couple seconds, let's see how the U handles a full season of being on top, because sometimes it's harder to stay on top than to get there.
And here we go. The ball is up. The ball is live. And we've got action here at Asbury Park.
Ooh.
Off the ribble. Cutting down the sideline. And LJ, what a missed opportunity there for the U to get the ball off the opening possession.
Listen, you know what? You may say they missed opportunity. They got lucky because DK is an animal on the return, right? That was a great high throw by Quattrell. If Quattrell Huff is not back there throwing that ball that high, DK is taking that for a 6.
And we'll take a look at the starting lineups here. We'll go to starting lineups for the Gators in just a second. We take a look at the replay. Huff, proud of himself on that one, gentlemen. Yeah. And that's the thing about Quattrell Huffin. He will put his body out there. He will throw his body in the way. And let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll take a look at the starting lineups for the Patterson U. The Baltimore Gators are arriving just at the start of the program, that 2.5-hour drive. The weather is no joke on I-95. The Gators in their gator skin, with their Gators on, in their uniforms. The Patterson U wearing their home blacks with silver numbers and orange piping. And the handoff, the ball comes loose, picked up by the Patterson U.
And that's the weather right there.
Well, there's no excuse for that. If you actually look at Snag Sosa, the running back, number 25, big-time player in this league, champion winner in his own right, but it looked like a miscommunication. Looked like play action in the mind of the running back and a handoff in the mind of the quarterback. And when you're facing the U, turnovers are going to be a huge part of this game. You can't waste possessions. And they got the ball first, gave it right back to the U. So
now let's take a look at this one again. We'll take a look at that one again in a second as we take a look at the Patterson U offense. Jarris Rogers, the one picking up that one. J-Rock.
And look who they have checked into the game. The man who broke the internet. My man, the ice cream truck is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the replay.
Here.
And we're going to talk about the ice cream truck in a second. We see here 3 on the line.
Looks like he's calling an audible by touching his leg there.
And the ball
and Snags was more concerned about number 13, Burton, coming through, trying to end his life. First and 10.
Handoff to the big man. Drag it through, pushed by his lineman. And that forward momentum, LJ, giving them about 3.
Yeah, that's some hard running right there. That's one of the that's the play, that bread and butter that Corey likes to run, that little inside zone there. That's going to open up for the play action. And, Quattro Huff is the king of the play action.
Also,
the no huddle as well.
King of the hurry-up offense. So let's get back to live action here.
3 wide receiver set on second down. It'll be 2nd and 10. No yards gained on the first play here. The clock running here in the A7FL. No stoppages unless under 2 minutes, and that's at the end of the half in the fourth quarter. And Quattro Huffin taken down, gaining about 1. But what about that hesitation off the snap, evading that first defender?
Yeah, that was a great sack by my man, number 42, Calvin Lamback. Wow. Huff usually, you never see a lot of times, Huff doesn't usually get tackled behind that line of scrimmage.
Well, that's sound football. You rush the arm of the quarterback to force him to his left, and you see here, Quattro Huffin makes the initial man miss, but when he steps up in the pocket to look down the field, he doesn't have enough time. So that's a great play by Huff to give him an extra just 2 seconds, but Isaac is looking for somebody to block, and you finish the play and bring up a 3rd and 8.
Calvin Lambic helping in on the tackle. He was the first man to miss. In motion, number 19, Joel Jumpman Rivera, rolling out to his right, throws this one deep, pointed towards the end zone. Oh, brought down!
Good defense. Is that Monty Skinner right there? Good defense.
Looks like Amani Skinner.
Yeah, Amani Skinner says none of that, none of that.
And it will be 4th down here.
Now we look at the replay. The Gators, the first 2 passes that the U has called, a little bit of pressure on Huffin, and you see Smoke has the room in the back of the end zone if the ball's a little bit out in front of him. Great defensive play, but when you jump and throw like Huff did off his back foot because the rush is in his face, affected the accuracy of the ball. and it'll bring up a 4th and long.
And we'll go to the starting lineups if the U make this first down.
Watch for number 2, Dot Boss, at tight end at the bottom of your screen.
And the toss, and thrown reception, first down!
Of course. You know he's going to my man, the Dot Boss, of course.
I mean,
Corey said it. Of course. My man, the Dot Boss, of course, and that is a first down. Move them chains.
And we'll take a look at that one again.
I mean, LJ, there's a reason I can't, wager on these games, right?
Of course.
And so it's great to see the replay here. And just a delayed release by Dot Boss, of course, the tight end, and you get a first down on 4th down. If you can't stop the U on 4th down, you're not going to win the game.
Absolutely not.
No. Clock keeps running on first down. Handoff, cuts up the middle, brought down. That was Kyle Ward on the run.
Yeah, just a simple zone give to the right side. Just presses the right side of the offensive line as we get a hurry up there, but the 3-yard gain is enough to keep the chains in place, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, one wide out set.
Oh, good pass. Oh, incomplete.
A little too fast on that one, gentlemen. Trying to make it move a little too quickly. Didn't get number 7, Kyle Ward, enough time to set up on that screen, and it will be 3rd down. And let's take a look. We'll go back to the replay.
See, the thing Quattro Huff, once you start, he's a little, right now, he has a little bit of pressure right now. He's not used to throwing passes like that.
Well, Quattro Huffin is an MVP in this league multiple times for a great reason, and we talked about his elite level escapability and arm. But when you get pressure on any quarterback in any level of football, they become human.
Air Jamaica Pamel, the eligible receiver, the handoff.
That's hard body right there. That's a big boy. I talked to Hard Boy earlier. He said he was, 330. He keeps getting up.
Yeah, he was standing next to Big Mo for the coin toss. And shout out to Big Mo, player for the U, also within Ramadan.
Yeah, he is
not eating.
He's observing Ramadan and playing. That's some MVP caliber stuff.
4th and 4.
4th and 4, the handoff, play action.
Oh, the pressure. He can't get there. Oh, he's having fun. He's having fun. He's smiling. He's talking. He's having fun.
And number 24, Air Jamaica for the Patterson U, seals the edge and gets that first down. So great job by Quattro Huffin to escape the initial pressure. But when you got a guy like Air Jamaica, a 10-year-plus rep in this, veteran in this league, making a play downfield, you got to stop him on 4th down, guys.
Got it. And like you said, Corey, earlier, right? You cannot, especially an out-of-state game, you're coming up to New Jersey, short-handed, whatever the case is, and you can't get a 4th down stop, 2 stops in a row on the same drive. Yikes.
And then both of them were close.
9 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. You're live here on Stadium. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 12-yard line. Patterson U driving here.
This is a big set. Watch play action and throw to jump man number 19 at the top of your screen.
Let's see if Corey Damas is right here. One running back set to the left. That is hard body number 21. Marcus McKinney. There's that play action.
Some good blocking.
He had jump man down the field, but smarter play maybe to get the 4 or 5 yards and bring up the 2nd down.
Hard body. People don't realize hard body. He's known for running people over, but he can block. That's a big boy right there.
Well, when you add that much weight to you, you might change position.
That's a big boy right there.
No offense, Marcus. You're gonna find me later.
He's a tank with a Ferrari engine.
Exactly, with a Ferrari engine.
And it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and about 4. Play action. Throws it.
Right back to hard body. Too easy. Matt, too easy.
Slip, slide, quick off the pass, throwing up the U for the first time on national television. Patterson at home, talking that talk, up 6-0.
This game is personal. So again, folks, like I said, the rivalry between Baltimore and New Jersey. Every touchdown is going to be smack. It's going to be talking smack. It's going to be pointing fingers. It's going to be celebration. Wait till the U goes up a couple touchdowns. You might see the whole team clear the sidelines and just go in the end zone and celebrate. My kind of football.
It's our kind of football, too, and we're so glad you're joining us here live on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, the voice you just heard, LJ Smith, and the third man in the booth calling the action, then being in the action in our 4 o'clock game. He's Corey Hammond, and we will have Quattro Huffin behind center for the 1-point conversion. A7FL has 1 and 2 points off the toss and stopped and defied.
None of that. And Armani Skinner lets the ice cream truck know you lost some weight, sir. You're not as big as you used to be. No, no, no.
So it will be no extra point here, but after the first drive by the Patterson U, they are now up 6-0. Your score, the Patterson U 6, the Baltimore Gators nothing. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. We are live here from Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey. It's the A7FL live on Stadium, and you see Quattro Huffin. He put in work, gentlemen. LJ Smith, Corey Hammond alongside me here on the first drive, and a little bit of everything kind of staying the same here. The Baltimore Gators not able to get anything done on that first drive.
Well, what you saw in that first drive is that there are some chinks potentially in the U's armor if the Gators can capitalize.
Right.
They got them to fourth down twice. They got a lot of pressure on Quattro Huffin, but they have to score on offense too, so let's see what they can do when they get the ball back.
Look at that ball. That's a cheat code.
And in the back of the end zone,
That's a
he's
bad
going to
decision.
return it. He's going to return it from inside the end zone.
DK!
And he's got a lane. DK makes a miss, but brought down at the 35.
Only him, like, Corey, I know you were saying that it was a bad decision, but let me tell you something. Only DK can produce, maybe him and Ashanti. But wow, you're absolutely right. Wow.
Well, that takes a lot of confidence to take it out, and he got to the 35, which is a pretty good return.
From the back of the end zone.
The risk, though, after he was probably the one responsible for the fumble on first down.
And
first
he
play
fumbled
there.
the ball out of the gate, too, on the initial 3-on-1. He may need to get some new gloves there. Head on over to the sideline, get some stick-em like in the Little Giants approach.
Yeah, to stick him there.
Well, the Gators do have answers on offense, but it's going to be interesting to see how they divvy up the ball. It looks like Deion McDaniel is the running back in the backfield, and he is a horse to bring down.
2 wide receivers set, 3 on the line for Baltimore, 1 man in the backfield, and there's the handoff.
And IS says none of that, none of that, none of that.
And it looks like Isaac was ready for the horse as he approached and threw him into the stands because, as it says on his back, he's a silverback.
Going gorilla, as Kanye West would say. Loss of 4 on the play, and we'll see here on the replay the defense just annihilating the line, and it might be a rough day for that backfield for the Gators.
Well, as we saw last week in the initial game for the Snow Tribe, welcome to the A7FL playing the U. It's always a long day for offenses against this U as they have 4 men on the line of scrimmage that will probably all come.
2nd and down, penalty.
Ooh, hey! Got through. Maybe hopefully the flag is on the U.
Looked like some procedure penalty. I'm not sure if it's the offense or defense. But a little nifty escape there by Carlos Croslin for the Gators on the play action. He steps up into and makes Pitts miss. Also Burton going for the ball there.
A whole lot of missed tackles there.
And it was an encroachment on the defense, so 5 extra yards. It'll be accepted by Baltimore.
That's tough. I don't know if I'd rather have 2nd and 10 or where the play would have resulted in a 3rd and about 6. But they go for 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 2nd and 10.
And a big key to this game is if the Gators think that they're going to shove the ball in a run game down the U's throats, they'd be the first team I've ever seen to do it. So they're going to have to open it up with some passes as we get 2nd and 9.
After the 5-yard help.
Here we go.
Toss to the outside, a little bit of trouble, and brought down again. Big tackle by Craig Pitts.
When you send Matthews in motion, number 24, they know him as a Super Saiyan, and you go on the crack motion, your job is to seal that edge where Craig Pitts was. So when you toss it out and number 0 is screaming down the line of scrimmage to the running back, the toss is not going to work. So you got to make that block if you're going to call that play.
It's very tough, though. As you guys, we're looking at the replay here, it's very tough to block Craig Pitts right there. Look, that's tough.
He's known as a bulldog. He's a professional wrestler,
yeah.
And he is someone with a dogged attitude. He's like a dog on the bone with that one.
Exactly.
Interesting story, guys. The hardest hit I ever took, I think, in my entire career, the most pain I've ever had, was on an interception to Craig Pitts when I tackled him by the ankle.
That's what you get.
Man's made of steel.
That's what you get. Who told you to make that tackle? Back to live action.
3rd down. Loss of about 3 on that one after the encroachment penalty. The snap, rolling out to his right. Uh-oh, in trouble, smothered, covered. Finds a way out of it, gets his inner Eli Manning on, and overthrows it, and it'll be 4th down.
Now listen, I don't want to hear nothing about the win. I don't know, that pass was, who was he throwing that to, Corey?
He was throwing it to Super Saiyan. He had some room downfield, but let's be fair. When he broke that late in the pocket and had some room, there's a lot of effort he already expended to get the ball out. So there's a timing that you have as a quarterback, and if you miss that timing, sometimes you miss the throw. And that far down the field, you're just kind of taking a shot. So honestly,
he could have just ran that, though.
He had the room. He did have the room.
Listen, if Matt says he had the room, he had the room, okay?
And obviously, I'm the authority in the room.
I think more importantly, what we have to focus on is if we look at the replay there, 4 defenders for the U are on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage chasing the quarterback. So, like we talked about with Quattrell Huffin, who's actually a great quarterback in this league, you get pressure on a quarterback, that accuracy level is going to go down. So, great defensive stop by the U once again. Seems like we say that most of the time. Their offense gets a lot of credit, but it's most of the time.
Copy and paste.
So it'll be 4th and 12, and as you see, it's another 3-on-1 throw-off, but the smart play here is try to get it out of bounds, or with the sky throw.
Willis with the throw.
Hey!
And that is Kyle Ward brought down at the 32-yard line. So the Patterson U will have some solid field position here, and they have the lead. Your score with 4:50 left to go in the first. It's the Patterson U 6, the Baltimore Gators nothing. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. The Patterson U looking to keep the momentum going here. It'll be 1st and 10. We are live on Stadium from Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey. A bit of sun clearing up here.
Yeah.
I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond, and the defending champions on both sides of the ball, especially special teams, setting some stuff here, LJ.
Yeah, setting it up. Now that you setting up their offense here, and they got fan favorite Dow Luck Truck who love running people over. So let's take a look at him.
Yeah, this is certainly a run set. When they got number 4 Ski in, he's one of the best run blockers at that position.
Doc Boss will be an eligible receiver. Brought down hard after a drive brought almost to the line of scrimmage.
So now they went to the big formation, but that is one of the advantages of the Gators because their defense.
Vincent Parker is known as the Bear for good reason.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big guy.
And it will be 2nd and 10, 4:10.
Now
left on the clock.
I smell a play action on its way. I don't know why. I can smell it from here.
Triple option.
Play action, of course. Quattro Huff. Ooh, shake it and bake it away. Oh, that lady loves it. And he loves it. And that's one of the things, hey, Matt, that's one of the things that the U loves. They can break down the offense and do little laterals to make things, keep the ball, keep the chains moving there.
What I always say is sometimes when you watch Quattrell Huffin play quarterback at the highest level of his game, it's more like he's playing point guard in a fast break. Right. He's running down the field. He's looking for zones and openings, and whether they're in front of him, to the side of him, or sometimes behind him, he's trying to get as many yards possible for the U.
But also just
again here on the replay.
But just keep in mind, you have to be a master of the rules to even understand. Like, think about it. He mentally, he already knows.
Oh, sorry. Back to live action. The big man pushing forward.
Look at that.
And that's the D train, and it looked like some Gators and the U went for a ride.
Yeah. That's what sometimes you gotta let them know. That's A7 football.
Everybody paying their $275 to hop on the D Express.
Well, there's a couple Gators that got a free ride there.
Listen, they said that we paid that toll. They raised the toll in New Jersey, right? Jersey Turnpike. They said we paid this toll. We come here to hit. You a big boy.
And it will be 1st down for Patterson after pushing the pile with the D train.
And the U goes back into the hurry-up.
2 back set, the snap. Rolling out, and the throw caught! Immediately brought down, though, LJ. What a big play there by the Gators defense.
But again, that's another opportunity, like Corey mentioned. Quattro Huff just looking for his options. He's always going to put his team in a position to be able to gain some yards on that.
Well, when they go into those pass sets and you see that they get pressure, it's causing them to be human, but if the Gators are going to succeed in this game and win, they're going to have to get sacks out of those plays and not just get near quarterback pressures.
Absolutely.
Because this should be a sack. This is a great play, but it's an even better play by the quarterback. And although they still lose 3 yards on the play, that's better than the 7-yard loss. And there's a momentum in making that play.
2 minutes remain here in the first quarter. 2nd and 10. The handoff, 2nd and 13. Pushing upfield again is the big man. And if you love the action here in the A7FL and you want to keep it going all week, join the A7FL Nation on social media and get in on the action. You want highlights? We've got crazy highlights from across the league, all of the games. You can't believe what you're going to see. Wild hits, amazing plays, and how about a behind-the-back touchdown pass, gentlemen? Yeah. We've got that for you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. The A7FL and you. Follow us now across social media. It'll be third down.
3rd and 14.
And that is Quattro Huff looking for the deep pass and right back to my man, the dot ball. Of course. He always ends up to be wide open. The dot ball still moving.
First
still
down
shaking.
And more.
Hey, it is too much fun out there. That's a first down, Patterson.
Well, you get the U in 3rd and 14. You do all the right things on 1st and 2nd down. And then you completely whiff on any coverage on the tight end as Marquise Williamson, dot boss, just leaks out again and gets about 40 yards because once he's moving that quickly, as you see here with DK, who's not a small man himself, can't get him down. But great play by...
Well, watch how he lands, though. Lands right on his hip. Lands right on that left hip. He was limping off the field. And with 45 seconds left to go in the first, right now is the opportunity for the Patterson U to get a bigger lead. We saw what they did to the Snow Tribe last week. We saw what they're able to do on offense, especially on defense. But right now, as across the history of this league, the 8 seasons of the A7FL, the Patterson U are somewhat of an institution. If you're joining us for the first time, watch this team throughout the rest of the season. We'll see them next week against the BIC in a matchup I'm excited to watch as a fan. I won't be here next week, but I'm excited to watch that game as a fan, a rematch of the 2021 championship. If you were watching on Stadium a little earlier today, you saw the BIC in action against the Rare Breed in our special Game of the Week preview. A little tasting menu. It's a light aperitif of what we got for you here in the A7FL.
Well, and the U, they've been known to line up against the team and just be better, be faster, be stronger. What you've seen from the Gators so far is they do have the talent there. They just haven't been able to execute on defense and stop them on the critical 3rd and 4th downs.
And it will be 1st and 10. The ball will be placed inside the 25-yard line, right around the 22.
Watch Dakari Mims in his 2nd year at the top of your screen, number 8 for the U.
And set up one quarter, running it back to the left, cuts inside. And brought down, and that will be a loss of a few. Lost about 2 yards, and can't really get this running game going so far, the Patterson U. They're being met hard up front.
The Gators D-line, people forget the Gators D-line are bullies, right? They dominate offensive lines. Now, the question is, you see with Quattro Huff, there's no huddle. This is gonna change the game.
Yeah, that no huddle is a killer on the option.
Hey, Quattro Huff got too much speed out there. Look, he's having fun. Hey, that's a first down.
And that will get inside the 5, and the clock keeps running here in the A7FL up until the 2nd quarter and the 4th quarter under 2 minutes. And we will go to the end of the 1st quarter with your score, the Patterson U 6 and the Baltimore Gators nothing. We'll be back with more live here on Stadium in just a moment. You're looking live here, Asbury Park Stadium at Asbury Park, New Jersey. The sun coming out a little bit more and more, poking its head out, knowing the A7FL's in town. Your score, the Patterson U 6, the Baltimore Gators nothing. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Corey Hammond and LJ Smith. It'll be 1st and goal here for the defending A7FL champions. Right now, you got a 2 wide receiver set, 1 man in the backfield. That's big number 32, the D-Train. And he'll get the ball. Push right in.
Touchdown.
How much was the train that they're missing?
A
That's
big
275.
boy.
$275 is being skipped by the Gators. They are not paying that. They don't want that ride because that ride went the wrong way on the tracks.
He said, listen, man, LJ, I eat in the morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, just to let things go. He just hits people hard. That's a big boy to take now.
Let's take a look at how we got to the 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. The handoff, that keeper there, almost kept by Huff, but just pushing the pile. Another human being on his back like it's nothing. Just like pocket lint. He treated another human being like pocket lint and making the game 12-0.
What if your family, you got family at home watching your kids, your
Got
daughters.
popcorn, a soda, nice beverage.
You get carried by a grown man. How would that make you feel, Corey?
There's a critical error when number 19, Joe Wilson, is the guy that is responsible for stopping D-Train from getting 2 yards in the end zone.
And they're going to try to go for 2
Good
here
effort.
To make
It's not always going to work out in your favor.
Make it a 14-point lead here for the Patterson U. Huff with number 21, hard body in motion.
Quattro Huff in that shotgun set. He loves that spread formation. Pump faking, shaking and baking. Good dot. Ooh.
Off the hands, up in the pocket, and that went right out of the hands of Kyle Ward. Nothing but smooth there, but the touchdown is all they needed. Patterson U leading 12-0. We'll see Baltimore try to come back when we return. We are looking live at Asbury Park Stadium, and here are the stats so far. Not a great day, gentlemen, for the Baltimore Gators. Minus 10 rushing yards in the first, 71 passing yards by the Patterson U, 34 rushing yards. A difference of almost 115 yards between the two teams, with one turnover. The ball in the air for the 3-on-1. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. That one will bounce to the back of the end zone because Quattrell Huffin has the strongest arm, in my opinion, in professional football.
Not in your opinion, in a lot of people's opinion, because again, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can single-handedly continuously do it. It's not like he's doing it one here, one there. He literally, it's like a cheat code. He's not the biggest disadvantage for teams, like you were saying, the most exciting times to throw and throw off, and he eliminates that in games for teams. So
he's like a great goalie. He can ice any opponent.
He's like the Iceman.
Yeah,
the real Iceman.
If I could throw that far. Now, but when we look at the stats, you look at that 71 yards passing, and it doesn't feel like it that much because normally we're expecting the U to have those big rainbow passes from Huff into one of the arms of, Jakari Mims or Pat Coburn.
Sure.
50 of those yards are on those dump-offs to the tight end Dot Boss after all of the play was broken down the field. So just an efficient execution of the pass game by the U. And it'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, Snag Sosa, fan favorite in the backfield. My man Snag Sosa with the inside handoff there. He's like getting about 2 yards on a play.
Not a lot of opportunity coming off the line for Snag Sosa. No. I think they telegraphed that one just a little bit, John.
Well, you know what? I think that, and I think maybe Corey could shed some light on this. Until we find out that Carlos Crossland can consistently drop back and throw some solid passes, the U is gonna bring all the heat they can. They're gonna blitz. They're gonna bring everyone in the box.
Well, they're able to stop the run right now, and if you look at their defensive set, they bring the 4 men at the line of scrimmage. Yeah. One of them is responsible for the tight end, so he's not even coming in every time, and they're able to control the line of scrimmage with that lineup with 4 guys in the box. So again, 7-on-7, 4 guys in the box. You pretty much got the passes covered.
Crossland, wide open! What a play!
Super Saiyan! Oh, good tell. Wow, he dove like 10 yards.
And there's Matthews. He's one of the impact wide receivers, and they call him Super Saiyan because of outbursts like this. And you can't see the golden hair around that bald head, but if you focus strong enough, you can feel his aura.
My man's about to fight Majin Buu, Cell, Go Trunks, everybody and their mother. What a play. Let's take a look again on the replay. A 2 wide receiver set off the play action.
And you had a question, LJ, can Carlson put the ball there? He does. And those are 2 elite level cornerbacks in the A7FL. That's Kels Gallimore, that's Neon Dion, and that is a Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan is actually one of my favorite. He's actually one of my favorite players, actually.
That was an intriguing and intrepid play.
If anybody was watching and needed that jolt of electricity into their body, watching the end of that play gave you enough.
I got it. I'm not even playing here.
1st and 10. Not a lot of time for the goat flag on the field. Coming out of it is Crossland. Crossland throws this one into the end zone and looking for another yellow hanky. Incomplete, and it will be a delay of game penalty, gentlemen.
Wow.
It will be that will kill this play dead, and we will reset here with a big loss.
There are a lot of people that are used to watching the A7FL, and they're used to watching the U, and they see the 12-0 score, and they go, this game's over. But what I've seen in the past 2 plays from Crossland is that whether he has the technical ability to do this, which is a very tough ask because it hasn't been done in 3 years, to beat the U at the quarterback position, I'm not sure yet. But he has the heart, and we could see it on those past 2 plays. He's not going down. He's not letting the U beat them before they even line up. And I'm excited to see what this kid can do for the rest of the 2.5 quarters that we have in this game.
Well, I'm excited as well, but keep in mind he's only completed 1 pass, respectfully.
But one pass that...
One huge pass, one huge pass.
It might have redefined the narrative of this entire game, and you saw the Patterson U line just now having a very intense conversation.
And what have we seen from the Gators defense is that they have the men on the field. They just have to execute by actually tackling. And if they tackle the quarterback in the backfield on those opportunities for sacks, then the U offense could get stymied, which is a thing that, again, we have to see before we know that it's going to happen.
1st and 20 play action. And the goat cutting up field. What a play there by Croslin, LJ.
Let's just be clear. He appointed himself the GOAT
Exactly.
Yes,
as
for the
his
record.
nickname.
That's his-
So that's to be earned.
For the record. In fact, matter of fact, for national television, if we can refer to him not to be the GOAT, sir, I would appreciate that respectfully.
What about
Croslin,
the oat of all time? He's got to earn the G.
I
think on that pass he earned the O, the A, and the T. He may not. If he gets a win today, we give him the G.
we talked about this pregame, Matt. Does he have cloven feet? Maybe he's half goat. He's half goat right now. He's a satyr, I think is the proper term. Not a minotaur, a satyr. And if he beats the U, we could call him a goat. He can grow horns. He can do whatever he wants as long as we keep it, PG related.
Two wide receiver set.
If you're not going to cover Sly, might as well throw it to him quick.
That's my man, Sly Boogie, a.k.a. Long Live Maury. And they're keeping him up. He's a big boy, 6'3".
And he isn't the thickest man, but out there, sometimes it's the size of your heart. And when you don't cover somebody, you give him an opportunity to run down the field, and he gets 11 yards.
That was a choice to kind of have the corner play more of a safety, play step up there.
Well, when you see twins coverage, right? So that was twins, and sometimes you'll press the slot and give room to the wide,
Right.
the X receiver. That time they inverted it, and Sly looked at his quarterback and said, "Hey, are you looking for a quick completion? Because I'm standing right here." And they agreed. They agreed to have a quick completion.
And that's the interesting thing about the A7FL. You have only 7 players on the field at a time, so you have to continue to play this game of mental chess in your setups, in how you're establishing your offense and your defense. It creates a lot of complexities for these teams, and we're seeing the Gators step up into this game here, fighting back down 12-0. It'll be 3rd down.
More play action. And dumped off an incomplete pass over there.
And that's Nick Mays, number 5.
Yep.
That's a touchdown if he catches it, but it's a really quick pressure on the quarterback, and he has to throw jumping off of his back foot. If he was able to step into that throw and complete it, it's 12-6.
Yeah. It turns the game completely in and around on itself.
And one of the things new fans have to understand about the A7 of football, since we've taken soccer out of this game and there's no kicker to get you that easy 3 points, that great play by the Super Saiyan, even screaming, even going against Mojin Buu, which maybe this U team is, and it was fun to watch. You don't get any points for getting inside or close like you would in other football because you're relying on a soccer player to come in and save your bacon. It is now 4th and 5, and the Gators, if they want something out of this drive, they have to convert by either getting the first down or getting pay dirt with the score.
It'll be a 2 wide receiver set to the left. Snap. In trouble. Tries to throw this one. Pops it up.
Can he catch it?
Intercepted. What a play in midair. Caught it on the fly. And that was number 0. That was Craig Pitts with the play.
Now that's just a stat grab as the Super Saiyan is actually looking to test his 100 times the force of gravity training he did in space earlier today, as we get a little bit excited about how exciting this game has been so far.
And let's see this play again here. Immediately in trouble in coverage. LJ just gets rid of the ball. And that causes some calamity. As we get the U offense on the field, we're going to take a brief timeout. And when we come back, the Patterson U will have the ball as they have the lead. Your score, Patterson 12, Baltimore nothing. This is the A7FL on Stadio.
Why is he trying to suplex my man?
We are live here. It's the we've got one heck of a ball game going on right now. For those who just missed it, I'm Matt Ryan. That's Corey Hammond. That's LJ Smith. You see it at the bottom of your screen. And we're going to take a look at the interception that really set things off, and it might have hurt the Gators' chance of really coming back in this first half. Just the defense of the Patterson U truly setting the momentum and running right into the catch. What a great catch by Craig Pitts on that one. And Corey, break it down.
Well, it's tough. On 4th and 5, you got to get rid of the ball when you have 3 men in your face like that as a quarterback. So, Crosland's doing the best that he can to give one of his teammates an opportunity. Craig Pitts makes sure that it doesn't turn into one of those weird plays because Nick Mays was standing right there and might have been able to catch it, get the first down. But like we talked about, when you gain a lot of yards between the 20s and the A7FL, it's good for the stat sheet, but you have to punch it in. And if you're going to beat the U, you can't turn the ball over. Gators have already turned the ball over. You have to make your tackles. The Gators have missed a lot of tackles. And you got to punch the ball in.
It's 2 turnovers on 2 big plays. Both were on 4th down. LJ, if you're on the Gator sideline right now and you're talking to this team, what's the one thing that you're and before we go to break, what's your thoughts on what the Gators can do to turn things around here with not a lot of time left in the first half?
They're making a lot of turnovers that are giving the Patterson U short field to score. That's all it is. It's a good ball game. It's just they're making mistakes on the offensive side. They defensively they just need to lock in on those third and longs or this 4th down. Just think about where they are right now. They're down 2 touchdowns, right? They've given 2 turnovers through 2 lobs, and they also broken down 2 4th down conversions. So that right there is the ball game right here. There's a whole lot of football left.
There certainly is. There's a whole lot of football left, and we're going to bring it to you live here on Stadium. The U have the ball and the lead. When we return, it'll be the Patterson U with the ball. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. We are live here at Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey. The Patterson U with the ball. As you see, the Baltimore Gators not really happy with how that drive went. And right now, it's going to be really telling to see defensively how they respond, gentlemen.
Well, one thing also you got to keep in mind is that was a 4th down, right? So a lot of people thinking like, why he just chuck it up there like that? Remember the rules, right? We're not, like you said, there's no kicking involved. So on 4th down, everything's really kind of past the 50, kind of is 4th down territory. So him just lobbing it up there, just kind of like a Hail Mary. At the end of the day, even if it's an interception, it doesn't really change anything because it's going to be a turnover on downs regardless.
Yeah, your job as a quarterback is to give someone a chance. Now, if you really watch the replay, he had to release the ball a little sooner than that to give one of his guys a chance and give himself a chance with the fast rush that's coming through with the Patterson U, which is consistent in every game that they play. But now, as we got 1st and 10 for the U, the Gators have to recuperate, control those emotions, and funnel them into stopping the run game for the U. Because what I've seen so far is that obviously Quattrell Huffin has been able to do those magical things so far, but most of them have been on dump downs. Most of that yardage in the air so far, at least, has been on dump downs to Dot Boss, who I don't know his injury status right now as the long 40-yard 4th down conversion that he had. He kind of took a fall. You see him in the huddle coming out right there, the big number 2 standing next to Quattrell Huffin with the orange bandana. So it's good to see him back out there.
I don't see how they haven't been to breakdowns though. So like he's staying back to block. Whoever's guarding him, regardless if they're in man or zone, for some reason he's always open.
What happens is when you're rushing a very mobile quarterback like that, sometimes the guy who's responsible for the tight end gets lost with his eyes on Huff, and whether he knows he's supposed to cover the tight end or not doesn't matter. If he takes that shuffle step right, and Dot Boss releases out to the left. He doesn't look like he's that fast out there, but he's much faster than a lot of the guys that are responsible for covering him. He's a huge mismatch because of the height, his athleticism, and his speed. And when you get those dump-offs, that's why he has 2 catches for 50 yards in this game.
And we have 2 offsetting penalties here. 0-0 of the Patterson U and
Kels
Gallimore and number 30 of the Baltimore Gators. That is Devin Butcher. Have both been ejected from today's contest for punches thrown in the game, taking that very seriously. Both players have been sent out of today's game. For those just joining us, your score 12-0, 8:49 left to go.
And you see some leadership on the sideline for the Gators. The guy talking in the huddle is actually one of the big playmakers for the Gators. Unfortunately, we aren't going to see due to injury today. That's John Gauze Jr., the usual starting quarterback. And he's trying to pump up his team because even though this game is 12-0, there's still 8:50 left in the second quarter. Right. This is a long game. And if the U continues to play like this, where they're kind of half in, on a great game for them, they're not necessarily playing perfect football.
And we see
they
it all
still have an opportunity.
And we see it all the time here in the A7FL, Corey. We witnessed that last week when your Hawks took on the DC Buzz. It came down to a last-minute interception to ice the game for the Hawks, and it's still close. It's still contentious. There's still a lot of football left, and we've got a lot of football left for you this afternoon because you're going to be getting the headset off, and you're going to put your uniform on, and you're going to head out onto the field. We'll be checking you out against the Baltimore Rare Breed at 4 p.m. live right here on Stadium. And those just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. 8:49 left to go. It'll be 1st and 10, the ball placed on the 11-yard line as the Patterson U will make the walk back to the line.
The Gators had a really big momentum play with that catch by Super Saiyan screaming down the field. Now, give Callamore credit because his impact for the game is now decided because he's gone.
Yep.
But he made that tackle and kept 6 off the board. But that momentum, that type of play is what the Gators need to get back in this game against the U.
Yeah, they're going to need a big play. They're going to need a big stop here.
As we see Ice Cream Truck with the very short shorts in the backfield at running back.
Be ready for a viral moment to happen from this man, the Ice Cream Truck. 1st and 10, play action pass. Moonshot thrown off the hair.
Incomplete. And he had him. He had DK. I can't believe he had a step on DK there.
And the second big missed reception by number 7.
Yeah, Kyle Ward is extremely fast, just like DK, and he just misses the pass there. It was a little bit too far for him, but with a decent amount of coverage from DK, it's not a badly placed ball, but when you're a wide receiver and you get your hands on it and you got that chance with nothing but green in front of you,
Corey,
you'd love to see that be a conversion for a touchdown.
Corey, quick question. What size do you think is Ice Cream Truck shorts right there? What size?
Those are child small.
Those are an extra medium.
Those are actually
Coburn
boxer
in
briefs.
motion. The handoff to the Ice Cream Truck and brought down, and not a lot of ice cream surf today, not a lot of bomb pops, but
One of the
3 yards.
One of the things you want to do against the U is stop the run because their most dangerous play on offense is the play action. When you have to commit extra men to stop the run against the U, you're leaving their wide receivers one-on-one, and you're also leaving their quarterback open for wide-open runs. So the play action is what they need to watch as they go with the spread. Jump man at the top of your screen, Jakari Mims at the slot, and Pat Coburn, the smoke, at the bottom of your screen.
The snap, the throw, caught in motion.
Good pass, good catch. 1st down, Paterson.
And that's that man, Jakari Mims. He had a huge impact in the championship game for the U. Was almost quiet his whole rookie season last year, but kind of bounced off of the screen in the championship. But here he's on the post in the slot, beats both of his men because somehow he was double covered, and Amani Skinner pulls him down after not so great coverage to allow the 1st and 10.
And I think he viewed that double coverage as not disrespect but a challenge.
Right.
And he met that challenge. 3 on the line for the U. Here comes an all-out blitz. Throwing a big smoke.
Ooh, hey, having fun out there. More sizzle. And that looks very close to a 1st down short by, 3 yards there.
It'll be 2nd and 3 now for the Patterson U, driving here with 6:25 left to go in the 1st quarter.
You know something's up when number 89 is playing wide receiver.
No, he's in
excuse me,
backfield.
running back. When he's playing running back because he is a wide receiver.
Right, you knew a play action was coming.
They love play action.
But that's what I'm talking about, the mental breakdown. So that's what they have to. Baltimore has to realize these like the way you see it, they should be able to see it.
You would think that.
Yeah.
You would think that.
And look
The way Corey Hammond views the game, I sit back and shut up while he's talking for good reason.
Are you the guru, sir? Should I call you on Mondays and Wednesdays for assistance?
I got enough gray hair to show my experience. And in that white Hawks jersey, it even looks grayer.
And look at what Huff does. Everything he does is at a high pace. Everything. He doesn't even give a team chance to get a sip of water. Look at him.
I'd be afraid to see how many steps he has in a day.
Yeah,
That's Rashad Knight, wide receiver.
Loss
Quick
of
screen to
5.
Ski.
Hey!
Ski Johnson!
Got the wheels and Ski. Oh, out of boo. He want to avoid that contact. Look at this. That's why he's smiling. He said, listen, I got that 1st down. I got to be working a couple hours.
Wasn't going down the Black Diamond slope on that one.
Not that
Straight
time.
on the bunny hill. But that one's going to be called back. That'll be holding on the offense, and the Ice Cream Truck consoling him. Let's take a look again on the replay.
Yeah, Ski is normally known for his blocking, but the quick screen to him down there and good blocking by the wide receivers. You see Jumpman is the one who got called on the hold, completely turned his man around. May have been doing it with a little bit of an illegal advantage there, which is why it was so great. But hey, when you get this is when the Gators need to take advantage, because if the U makes a mistake, like a holding call, now it's 2nd and forever. But if the U still is able to convert this with one of their either ridiculous, running quarterback down the field, pitching it kind of plays, or just their basic, scheme offense, it doesn't matter if they lose 10 yards on a penalty.
Snap, the handoff to the big man. The D-train bowling down Asbury Park, going right down Sunset Avenue, not getting the first down, but knocking right on the door, and it will be third down.
And the 137-pound Amani Skinner is proud of himself for bringing down the D-train, but the fact is that he still got 10 yards on the run, so.
Just look at D-train's face. He's smiling, he's laughing. I'm out here having fun running people over.
And good block there by 10. The snap, the quick hurry-up offense. No need for replays, and there will be a flag on the play. And a little too much on that one, and a fun conversation between both teams. We'll see what the call is on that play.
Yeah, the call will be big here.
Let's see again it'll be holding on the offense, so they will replay third down. But this is the run by the D-train, and you see number 10 there setting up that block. Kind of just light touched him.
If that was a block.
It was like watching one of those YouTube karate masters.
All right, so listen. Sylvester Washington, number 1, Sly. We caught you. That was a business decision.
Yeah, we caught you as well.
Yeah, we caught you. That's a business decision. And hey, you will see some great defensive plays by Sly. You will see some great offensive plays by Sly. That's not making the highlight reel.
He did what was best for him and his family on that one.
What I liked about it is that when he took the bump, he tucked the chin.
He tucked the chin?
So he did what he had to do on that one. So if you're taking an S&F
he said, look, if I'm going to be on a highlight, I'm going to put my body in the hole. He was like, I'm going to take one for the team and make him at least adjust his, so it'll be 3rd and long after the penalty.
3rd and 19 after the penalty, 2 wide receivers.
Smoke at the top of your screen.
Quattro Huff. Oh, he got some. See, that's what he's too slippery back there. Oh, he got him that time. Bye-bye.
And there's Nick Mays, and that's the big-time momentum play there now. The U is going to be forced with 3 minutes now after the clock gets run down on the 3-on-1 throw-off. And this could be the start of that momentum, because this is what they've been building on. Every single pass play we've seen, the Gators have been able to get a pass rush. They haven't been able to bring down Quattro Huffin yet, and when they do, brings up the 4th and basically forever.
All right, we're going to take a brief timeout, and when we return, it will be 4th and forever. This is the A7FL, Patterson and Baltimore. Patterson with the lead. The throw-off in the break, landing at the 3-yard line. It will be 1st and an ungodly amount to go for the Baltimore Gators to get into the end zone. Your score, Patterson 12, Baltimore nothing. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Corey Hammond and LJ Smith. If you're watching us for the first time, we say thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're loving the action. If you've been a fan since the beginning, since the very beginning, when Corey Hammond had hair that wasn't that gray and LJ Smith had hair, thank you for coming with us and taking the ride.
Hey, man, I had long, luxurious hair.
It'll be 1st and 10. A 97-yard drive.
So after the huge momentum sack by the Gators, Quattro Huffin comes back in his throw-off mode.
Yeah.
And basically Coffin corners it to force a 98-yard potential drive for the Gators to get 6 against this U defense.
Playing defense against the U is like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 without using a horse. It's impossible.
or playing online. just blue dots just coming at you, killing you every single time. It's like, I just want to take this deer to the butcher. This buck.
And the snap, bucket up here, Carr, almost slipped out of the air.
Super Sion with the
That
catch.
is a bad decision by a quarterback, basically, is how good the coverage was.
Terrible, I know.
But Matthews is just different. And I don't know why he keeps putting the Scully back on. Just let the hair be bald. Go full Krillin on us, bro.
He's channeling his inner Adebisi.
Yes. Yeah. But, hey, if he's going to keep making plays and getting up and screaming like that, he's going to bring energy to his team. And I think his team needs energy right now with 2:30 by the time they snap the ball and 90 yards to go.
2nd and 4. Ball inside the 10-yard line.
Pump fake. Looking for that deep pass up there. Good catch. Good catch by the big boy. Oh, another one. He's too big for the game. He's moving. He's moving him around. Get out of my way. You're too small.
Hey,
You're too small. You're too small. Devontae Willis Hey, yo.
It is thick boy season all the time in the A7FL. And number 16 making it pop. Pardon me, number 14 making it pop. Devontae Willis, a.k.a. Aote, making an Aote catch. But after the catch, LJ, is where all the goodness happens.
Just look at how many stiff arms. 1 stiff arm, 2 stiff arms. Here comes another stiff arm. He took that. 3 stiff arms.
Oh, no.
Well, the first 2 men he missed were about half his size. But when Burton was coming down the field screaming, he still said, "Big man, get off me." And that's a great momentum play, and that's the kind of effect that Super Saiyan has on his team.
But I want to point out the one thing he did there better than anything. He held onto the ball.
It looked questionable at times, Matt. He was holding that ball like a loaf. But as you know from a big guy, a loaf of bread in a big guy's hands, you ain't getting that around him.
We're going to be taking a brief timeout. It's a 2-minute warning. Can the Gators seize control here and make it be a closer game? Your score at the 2-minute warning. It's 12-0. Patterson U in the lead. Gators with the ball. Let's see what happens live on Stadium. Nothing left to go. The Baltimore Gators with the ball, driving here, looking to have their 3rd drive of the afternoon, not ending their 3rd turnover of the afternoon. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. Guys, this has turned into quite a game here. A lot of big plays from the Baltimore Gators on offense and defense, putting them in position to score, but not able to matriculate the ball down the field enough to put points on the board. Is this the drive? We'll see. 1st and 10.
Hey, looking down. He got a deep ball. Can he make it? Ooh, dropped it. He had it one hand. Dion. He had that. I know he's upset. I know he is mad.
Now the receiver's blaming the quarterback for the ball being placed, but the ball had to be thrown early. So when you have a chance to get your hands on the ball and you're playing the U and you have nobody in front of you, even though there could have been a better throw there, I'm looking at the wide receiver and saying, hey, you got to make that catch. Because with 2 men right in his face, he kind of put the ball, as soon as he turned around, right where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And if Crosland's going to continue to do that, the Gators are going to continue to have a chance in this ball game, regardless of how good the U is on paper. Because with 1:56 left in this game, Gators are able to score here. They're putting some pressure on the U that the U hasn't felt since maybe the New Jersey Championship.
Yeah.
But the U have all 3 timeouts. They get the ball at the half, and you have 1:56 left.
And it takes them about, 13 seconds to score?
No, but you know,
I think we do have a timeout here called by Baltimore.
But the U is not about the 13 seconds. If you know the history again, as we were talking earlier with Matt about the history of the U could be up 50 right now. They're going to call a timeout and try to score because they're disrespectful like that. Their goal is to put as many points on the board as possible just to do it. So it does. 1:56 is a lifetime. They'll probably score twice if they get the ball.
Well, and let's talk fundamentals, because there's a lot of things that the U does, if you really break it down, that they should not be doing, but they get away with because they're almost always, on paper, the better talented team.
Right.
That thing where they're running down the field, 60 yards down the field, and they're looking behind them to throw to a fat guy because they want to give him no offense to the larger,
big guy,
the well-endowed members of these teams.
To the big guy.
But the point is they make a lot of like mental errors that they get away with. So if they continue to do things like that, maybe not in this game, but over the course of the season, the question is, will those eventually bite them?
Right.
And in this game so far, they've made the plays on 3rd and 4th down, even though at times it looks like the Gators are pretty well matched against the U. This is a championship team 2 years in a row looking for their 3rd. But with 1:56, 2nd and 10, Crosland is looking to put a dent in that score.
It looks like Nick Mays checks in at 10 and Snag Sosa is in the backfield. We're waiting for play action. And he's on a hunt. Can he get there? Whoop, slipped away. Hey, slipped away. Oh, got him. There he goes. Craig Pitt says, no, sir, none of that.
More action than play on that one, gentlemen.
Well, that's a great effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a great result. So I mean, if that's what you have to do against the U, you're going to have a long day, because he's going to expend a lot of energy still to have a 10-yard loss, and J-Rock misses the first one. Then you got another dip tackle, which is a great play. But now you actually have to get the ball up in your hands, look downfield, and get the ball out of there. Because what I would do with no athleticism at quarterback is try to get the ball out sooner.
Right.
Because the rush is coming with the U. And it looks like the rush is coming with the Gators as well. But the rush is coming with you. With 135, you've seen that guys are open downfield.
But the thing is, Corey, is that the guys, I understand what you're saying, right? But keep in mind, the pressure's coming even before he gets into his 2-step drop, 3-step drop, right? He can't even get, he's looking for the deep ball. You know, a 3 ball, 3 to 5. So.
And maybe John Gauze, Ace Boogie, a former MVP and the starting quarterback that's out due to injury, makes those plays. But Carlson has to get comfortable in the pocket, deliver it downfield because he's got men open downfield.
3rd and 16, minute 35 left to go.
Deep
With
ball.
time.
Up top. Oh! He was wide open, too. He was wide open.
That post has been open, and Kyle McEachern is one of the guys in this league that does make a lot of plays, doesn't get a lot of publicity. And if he caught that one, that would have been a huge play for the Gators. But the ball was thrown on time. But now you got to put it on the money.
And to hurt that, it's a flag on the offense, offensive holding. It'll be declined, so it'll be 4th and 16. The ball on the wrong side of the 50 for the Gators, and once again backed into a 4th down situation. They have been 0 for today on 4th down conversion.
Well, and the smart thing to do is to give the ball back to the U because.
You want to take a shot, Corey? You wouldn't think you would take a little shot?
I mean, part of what you're thinking is on 4th and 16 and you turn the ball over there. It's the same basic distance for the U. Sometimes the U is even more dangerous with the more field that they have. The shorter the field is, the less the top. Yeah. You can go over the top with Quattro Huffin's big arm. But we got really excited with Aote's big rumbling, stumbling, bumbling big guy play down the field. But like we said, you got to punch this in against the U, and again, the Gators fail.
This one thrown up by Crosland. That one will be thrown out of play, so it will be 1st down. And you know what? I love the uniforms here today. And you know what? If you really want to rep your favorite A7FL team, if you want an A7FL football, the official A7FL merch store is now open, and we've got you covered. For the 2022 season, we've partnered with Augusta Sportswear, the official uniform supplier of the A7FL, so you can get your American Sevens gear. Get it right now at a7fl.gear. .com/gear. Once again, it's a7fl.com/gear. 91 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. Your score, the Patterson U, the Baltimore Gators, nothing. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. And gentlemen, right now, I don't know if it's the skill of the Patterson U or the unlucky situations the Gators have found themselves in today that have really set this up with 91 seconds left to go on 1st down.
No, you said it right. And as a Quattro Huff in this spread formation, in this shotgun set, and he's
trying off the ball, you know he's going to throw it.
That deep ball's coming, and I'm looking at Pat O'Brien on the top of your screen. My man Smokey.
He's in the slot with time. Huff in the back of the end zone.
He's a magician.
Throws this one a bullet caught.
Pass! What a pass!
Good block, tried to cut outside. And will get out of play. The clock will stop. Takari Mims with the catch.
Yeah, what a pass and what a catch. He's a magician, Corey.
Teams in this league wonder how they can replicate how when the U gets a open run downfield, it always seems like it's going to turn into a touchdown. But after the great throw from the escape here by Huff, where he kind of squats down and flicks it out their sidearm, watch the receivers down the field. They find a man to block, and then they get on him, and then that's how all of these receivers are able to get all that extra rack yardage. And it seems like those intermediate 10-yard passes consistently turn into 50-yard gains for the U.
You see Shaq McCutcheon. He'll be on the line here.
And that's Darrell Stevenson's number 79, and a Division I scholarship athlete, now spending his days for A7FL Rutgers.
Rutgers, nice.
The snap. Huff on the run again. Caught by Smokey.
Smokey!
He's down the sideline. Cuts inside, but will be stopped. No, he caught inbounds. He touched the ground, so clock will run here. When 1:05 left to go, the U with 2 timeouts, Baltimore with only 1. Not a lot of time left, and we'll take a look here at the replay.
Well, I don't know how some of these guys are that wide open. It seems like when I play in the A7FL, all of my guys have at least someone near them.
You're playing with subpar receivers, sir. Thank you so much.
That's a shot to my guys.
Shout out to the Hawks playing at the 4 o'clock game. We'll be watching that one right here live on Stadium. Big Rob
For sure, you're not talking about Eddie Petty.
No, but
and you can agree with me on
no,
that.
but at least you could say, like you said earlier, like the what's happening is that Quattrell Huff, he's so mobile, you got to worry about him running and your man.
And you just leave your man. Yep.
You don't got to worry about you running. So yeah, back to live action.
Timeout called by the Gators. That will be their last charge timeout. With a minute 10 left to go, your score, the Patterson U 12, the Baltimore Gators nothing. We'll be back with the end of this first quarter in just about 30 seconds left to go. Your score, Patterson 12, Baltimore nothing. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Patterson U. They have the ball, and the Baltimore Gators have burned all their timeouts. So with a minute 10 left to go, the U looking to be up 3 scores. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond, bringing you the action live in our first of 2 games here on the A7FL Games of the Week, brought to you live on Stadium. If you're watching us for the first time, thank you. If you're watching us for the 8 millionth time, well, where have you been? Let us know. Follow us on social media.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking at halftime, bringing you the highlights of this game so far. All the action. The first quarter looked like Baltimore was going to be in the mix for a little bit. Some poorly timed plays have set up the Patterson U in the catbird seat here, up by 12. It'll be 1st and 10. Number 21, hard body in motion.
And what is he doing? Hard body right there? I knew he's going to catch that ball. You know, hard body, dropping that shoulder. And he's a grown man out there. Anytime you see a hard body starts doing that little flanker and stuff like that, as my man Corey Hammond would say, he's going to get that football.
So it looks like it'll be a first down for the Patterson U with a minute 4 left to go, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock.
And they got the ball with about a minute 31, and they were on their own about 12, 15, 20-yard line, something like that. And they're already at the 30 with 104. So if the question was, do they have enough time? I think the answer is, I think so. I'm pretty
2
sure.
on the line for the U, the snap. Huff in trouble and brought down at the 45-yard line. The Gators chomping down on the big play, and the clock will stop. Patterson U taking the timeout right now. That's a great momentum move.
Well, and if you're going to keep coming out as the U with 2 offensive linemen, you're inviting a 3-man rush, which you see. Freeman coming off the edge, and it's Quattrell Huffin's job to make him miss, which he usually does. This time he doesn't capitalize, and basically a 20-yard loss, and it'll be 3rd and touchdown, basically, because if you're the U right now, you're not looking for just the first down with only 56 left, and I think 2 timeouts. What you're looking to do is just continue to keep moving the ball downfield, and like they did with that kind of quick screen out the hard body, try to get a chunk of that yardage back from the sack and see if you have an opportunity up top to a guy like, Joel Jumpman, number 19, when you see him one-on-one coverage. That's a salivating type of dish that you might have if you're a quarterback.
Who's, believe it or not, been missing in action. He hasn't had those.
And at the top of your screen, you see tight coverage on Jakari Mims, number 8, who's wide open.
Line. Ball thrown deep. Fight for the ball. Almost intercepted.
Look at
Amani Skinner was absolutely torched on the snap here. If you look at the replay, that inside-outside move that Jakari Mims put, Amani Skinner was basically in a seat sitting down. Jakari Mims burnt him. Let's look at the replay. You're not going to see it from this angle. He burnt him, and if the ball's thrown in front of him, that's an easy touchdown. But give credit to Skinner for getting back, getting his hands on the ball, and making the play. Because at the end of the day, when you're a defensive back, you can make that incomplete sign as long as the ball touches the ground. If the quarterback misses on the play, it's still a good play by you.
It'll be 3rd and Corey Feldman's favorite, number 22. Patterson U with the lead, but with only 50 seconds left to go here in the first half, looking to score, make it a 3-score lead heading into the half. They will get the ball at the start of the second half.
Well, it looks like you look at the coverage on the outside. Looks like a zone coverage on Kyle Ward, and Smoke is man-to-man coverage with DK.
And look at my man Smoke up top.
Flag on the play.
In the place of holding.
Thrown off the hands.
Dropped it for that cash money.
Ooh, that's hard body.
Hard body.
Hands looking pretty hard right there. Rock hard.
Hard body.
Now, the penalty flag was in the location.
No, he got knocked the push-ups. Remember the push-ups he owed me? There you go, sir. You drop passes.
Those are not all the way up.
Yeah, listen, he cheating maybe. That's hard body, though. Don't worry about that. But listen, he got knocked in the push-out. You drop incomplete passes on national television, sir, you got to knock those push-ups out. Yes, sir, you got to do that.
And it will be
4th and forever, and I'm sure they're going to go for it because they're very confident in converting this. And if they do, they'll have some ridiculous smiles on their faces.
Corey Hammond, the guru here. Why, a.k.a. the Iceman, sir, would you go for this on 4th and 22?
Well, on 2nd and 22, they had Jakari Mims wide open. And it was just a little bit underthrown, or it would have been a touchdown.
But would you go on 4th?
On 3rd and 22.
And the U will take their last time out.
The team is probably decide. They don't know what to do.
You're asking me, LJ, what I would do, and I'm looking at my huddle, and it has Joel Jumpman Revere. For those who don't know, is actually a former Jet practice squad member and a great wide receiver in this league for a long time. There's the play right there. You see at the top of the screen.
Right.
Woo. Amani Skinner was beat like his mother caught him looking at something bad on the internet. Run that again, just so everybody can see. Unfortunately, Amani Skinner.
But
What Jakari Mims is doing.
Cookie jar.
One of the things that Amani Skinner was walking back, you should have saw his face, his body language. He was walking like he played some good defense.
And we'll see here from this angle.
Well, that angle you could see downfield, it was beat. But if you see it from the onset of the play at the top of the screen, you're going to see that John Gruden outside little dance move.
I mean, that's not his fault.
Every corner. Well, it's not his fault. You know, if you're Amani Skinner, you're just there to make the play, and he did. And he celebrated, rightfully so.
And it will be 4th and infinity as we get into
Now,
the end
this
of
is
the first half.
this is what the U can do to you. They have so many players. They're putting Joel Jumpman at the tight end spot, and that's a really tough matchup for somebody.
The snap, the throw. This one all the way downfield. Off the hands, through the hands, and another drop by Dakari Mims. And it will be 1st and 10 for Baltimore.
It was
with
there.
some great field position, but no timeouts on either side.
That ball's on the money,
Not only does the post get behind the defense, and it's not supposed to on 4th and 22, but the ball's basically in his hand. So it's a great throw, no pressure, which is Quattro Huffin's favorite thing. And it looked like maybe the wind careened it just out of the path, as it'll bring up 1st and 10. And the Gators have a chance again now, too, because, look, we were talking about 2 minutes left.
Right.
And we were thinking it was only going to be a 1-possession game, but both of these teams are very aggressive attacking. And these incompletions are giving the other teams opportunities.
That's why I told you, Corey, before that when I was asking you, should you go for it?
Well, I mean, if he catches that ball, then that looks like a great decision. But, you know, you have to have the confidence in your offense. And what we've seen from the U defense is the U has confidence in their defense as well. So even though the Gators start with the ball at the 45, the U's not worried about it.
And look at that matchup at the top of the screen right there.
Super Saiyan on Neon Dion.
Number 30, an eligible receiver, flag on the play.
Hey!
He'll be going for it, cuts up the sideline, and will step out of bounds on the right side of the 50. Might have gotten a 1st down, but this one might be coming back.
To quote you, LJ, Crosland's got that shake and bake.
He does. He does.
And he uses that move. A lot of guys use that move and they'll still get tackled. He uses that hesitation to create openings, and he's using that to his advantage. But the problem is that the U's defense is as athletic and fast as him, if not more, at some positions. So he's going to have to put the ball on the money to the receivers downfield, because if you look downfield with one-on-one coverage, I don't care how great Neon Dion is. If you put the ball on the money to Super Saiyan, so far he's shown that he's going to catch the ball.
The call was offsides on the defense. It was declined by Baltimore. It'll be 2nd and 2.
And if you're the Gators right now, you look at number 24, Matthews, number 5, Mays, and at the bottom of your screen, number 1, those are your playmakers on offense. And one of those guys has to get open, and Crosland has to deliver the ball.
2nd and 2, the ball snapped. Not with a lot of time. Crosland throws this one, dumps it off.
Mean machine. Mean machine. Mean machine. He's a grown man out there, man. He's a grown man.
And that's that same style of play that you see Dot Boss. Yeah, here's the flag to ruin it. But that's the same style of play that Dot Boss was, making work for the U on the other side of the ball. And Nick Mays has been known to, be that safety outlet for John Gauls, in years past. And when he gets in the ball in open field, makes a play. But again, let's see what the penalty is.
And it'll be holding. It'll be 2nd and 5 after the penalty. Completely negate this amazing.
Yeah, it's downfield by Super Saiyan. That aggression that we see, that energy that we see, comes to bite him.
So he could have just 1st down there, right?
It's from the spot of the ball. So instead of it being, 2nd and 10, I think it's 2nd and 5.
Gotcha.
So the end gain is negated.
but it will be 2nd and 5. 18 seconds left to go.
But I'll tell you what, if I'm the quarterback in the Gators huddle, I'm asking for at least a half second more time.
Just give me half a second. All I'm asking.
Half second more. Half second more.
It's that conversation you have with your wife or girlfriend. Just give me one more chance. Just give me a little bit more time. I'll come through. Just a little more time, honey.
Is it you asking or is it the wife asking? Because the wife might be asking for a little bit more time.
Say it again, Matt.
2nd and 5.
A little more time, honey. A little more time. 2nd and 5, the snap.
I think that's what she said.
You look,
Not a lot of time. Cuts through.
Deep ball.
This one going towards the end zone. No, and there's a flag on the play. We might have a little pass interference.
What's the call?
Not sure because as the
let's see what the call in the field is. Yeah, it looks like Sly Boogie. It looks like Sly Boogie, my man, a.k.a. Long Live Maury. Looked like it might have been pass interference on the U.
So what happens here, if it is pass interference, it'll be a spot of the ball foul, which on the deep pass is great for the Gators. Air Jamaica on the sideline with the green sleeves for the Patterson U is clapping. I'm not sure what the penalty is. Holding.
Call.
And pass interference downfield.
Penalty,
wow.
So it will be 3rd down after the incompletion.
LJ, when I asked my offensive line for that half second, I didn't mean to cheat. I appreciated offensive line, but let's not cheat.
That was big.
That was, I'm not even gonna.
Go ahead, Corey. Let it go. Go ahead. Let it go, Corey.
It'll be 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5.
I mean, I appreciate you keeping them off of me for that extra half second, but
well, let's take a look. Let's
legally.
see the hold on the replay. And it is afternoon in Asbury Park, but the moon high and wide here for Baltimore as the sun begins to set on this first half. We see the hold.
You know what? That pocket is good enough for a lot of guys because the U sent 3, and I counted to 3.5. So even though it's a deep pass, you have to step up. It'll be 2nd and long, but more 2nd and touchdown
deep
at this
ball,
point.
Super Saiyan.
Popped up, and that one was not going to be completed inbounds anyway. Super Saiyan, 2 seconds left to go, and a fun conversation between receiver and defender. Number 24, Antoine Matthews, a.k.a. Super Saiyan.
Well, the league should be looking at this game and consistently, even though there's pressure on the quarterback, consistently downfield, there's been open wide receivers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let somebody stand up and be the person that's going to deliver the ball to those open wide receivers and make the U responsible for them.
And this is probably the template to beat both of these teams or stay in contention with both of these teams. If I'm the Trenton BIC, I played earlier today. I won 51-0. And we'll go into some of the scores at halftime. We'll be bringing you highlights and how we got to 12-0, maybe 12-6. We'll find out in just about 2 seconds' time. But if I'm the Trenton BIC and I'm playing the U next week, I am staying here, I am taking notes, and I am making sure I know exactly how to beat them.
If you're Trenton BIC, Ashanti Worthy, and their new rookie, the Mighty Mouse, based on what we've seen here, there's going to be the potential for them being open downfield. And as dangerous as these guys from the Gators are, those guys are even more dangerous. So it's going to be Sterry Codrington's next week, because we're going to talk about this week now. But Sterry Codrington next week, if he can deliver the ball, they might win.
The snap. Not a lot of time thrown. Picked on, dropped, and that will end the first half.
That was the hook and ladder.
That was basically the story of the first half of the Baltimore Gators. 2 seconds away from breaking the game wide open, but unable to get across the line. They'll reset the clock to 2 seconds, and that one an incompletion.
Guys, the clock
will be reset.
They set up the short hook because they were going to catch the hook, toss the hook and ladder, but hey, the first order of business on that play, guys, is you have to catch the pass.
Got to get it in your hands.
But what's funny is all of those things that we're saying and all of the past 2 minutes that have gone by, with these 2 seconds left, if somehow the Gators can get it past the end zone and put 6 on the board, this is a completely different game.
And it'll be 4th and 5. The ball set at midfield at the 50-yard line. 50 yards left to go for Carlos Crosland and this Baltimore Gators offense looking to get on the board. They have to be on defense to start the second half. Crosland drives this one deep. This one a home run ball off the hands of the defender. And we will go to the half with Dakari Mims missing another ball and a flag on the field. We might be walking this one back. The Lord giveth and the Patterson U taketh back.
And hopefully
And we
that's
will
not
have an
against you.
untimed down. It is a pass interference call on the defense.
Ooh.
So let's take a look again on the replay.
Good blocking, steps up, throws the ball. Now, the ball isn't delivered, but we're talking about like a nearly 70-yard throw. So just getting the ball off, I'm not sure where the pass interference was, but Jakari Mims has been doing a lot of push-ups today.
Yeah.
You gotta grab it. I mean, it's a little slick out there. I'm not one that would say that I would catch any of these balls. I'm not fast enough to even get in position. But with a potentially 50-yard throw coming and Crosland showing that he has the ability, now that last play they had a corner and a running back at wide receiver. Now they have Super Saiyan, Sly, bottom of your screen. Let's see what happens.
From the 45. And Crosland's just going to run with it.
Hey!
Yeah, but he's got to score, so
Out of bounds.
Nah, you can't go out of
Keeps
bounds
the
now.
play
He's going to pitch
alive.
it back and be ridiculous. All right.
And that one will be emblematic of the Baltimore Gators' first half. So close, but so far away from getting across the goal line, crossing that Rubicon to make this a closer game. But at the end of the first half, this is the most human we've seen the Patterson U in 2022. We'll be back with breaking down the first half in just a moment. This is the A7FL on Stadium. At the end of the first half, your score 12-0. It's the A7FL live on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Corey Hammond and joined by LJ Smith. We want you to grab your official gear at a7fl.com/gear, but it feels like it takes a certain kind of player to wear a Patterson U jersey or a Baltimore Gators jersey. Let's take a look at how we got to 12-0 here. And we'll see here. Things starting off with Quattrell Huff and that big sack. The Baltimore Gators defense really finding ways, Corey, to stymie Quattrell Huffin in this powerful Patterson U offense. And then we see it again here on the turn. Big play here by the Gators.
And that play by Super Saiyan, although he's had a couple of big catches, that potential penalty right there.
And the first play of the game off of that 3-on-1, setting momentum for Snag Sosa. The first play off the first drive, going right into the hands of number 5.
J-Rock,
Jarris Rogers. And then we see the big man, the D-Train, getting a little help out of the station by number 50. And a big day so far for Quattrell Huffin on both sides of throwing and catching, but has not been able to get a big touchdown play, partly because of the great work of this Baltimore Gators secondary.
Well, they're getting pressure on Quattrell Huffin, and like we talked about earlier, that's really the key. You know, the two big plays in the pass game for the U have been the dump-offs. And the Gators have been able to stop the run mostly. They've been able to control the deep pass game. What they haven't been able to do is do anything on offense once they get inside the 20. So they've had the couple of big plays. They've had, some energy from Matthews. They've had that one big play by Aote. And then the play to Nick Mays, again, that tight end delay that got called back. But what I see here from the Gators is that they have the heart to be in this game. 12-0 is not a bad score going into the half against the U.
And we see here.
But the one thing about the U guys is that whether they put up 12.5 or 0.5, they can put up 30 and a quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
So for the Gators defense to keep this up, you're going to have to see more plays from Crosland, not necessarily just running, unless they can keep an on-time kind of scheduled structure to their offense where they're first and 10, second and 5, 6, where they're constantly getting yards. Because once they get in that, third and 12, second and 15, you're asking a lot for Crosland to deliver dimes down the field, even though those guys have been open.
Well, Corey, one thing, the U's playing solid football, but you know what? They're only down, the Gators are only down 12, and not for nothing, the Gators offensively haven't really shown us anything, right? So they can easily, like you said, make a big play here or there, make a big stop. There is so much football left in this game. I am not even going to fall asleep. I'm not going to fall asleep on these Gators. All they need is one stop. That's it. Because once they get into what happens? As soon as they get into that end zone, and now it's 12-6, and now you're playing the possession game for that extra point. You never know what's going to happen.
And we talk about the recent success for the U as an organization. Let's not forget the Gators are probably the U of the Maryland division.
Right.
So when they come into a game, they expect to win. They expect to compete. And they're in the half, not like, if let's say, the Snow Tribe was playing and would be happy down
Exactly.
only 12-0.
Yep.
They're in the sideline right now talking, hey, it's unacceptable for us to be down 12-0. And it's weird to potentially say that as we look at Quattrell Huffin, talking, getting the lowdown from look at Marcel Bates kind of hiding in there. But 10 for 18, 148 yards, that's a really efficient game for Quattrell. And that's including some of the misses he had down the field.
Well, let's take a look at the first half stats. The Baltimore Gators started the second quarter minus 10 rushing yards, able to get 5 positive yards in the second quarter, 51 yards rushing for the U, so continue to keep that momentum. Not a lot of rushing yards. I believe that was around the same amount of yards they had in the first quarter. 148 passing yards, just about at 199, just a little bit under 200. 122 total yards, but the big one, Corey, those turnovers. 2
big numbers there. The 2 turnovers is obviously huge. First play of the game, you fumble because basically, I don't know, you were scared? Like, what is the reason you fumble a handoff on the first play of the game? They switched quarterbacks right after that, so maybe that was what it was. But then you look at the rushing yards. Now, it only says 5 yards. Those 5 yards, guys, are from the quarterback running after sacks.
Right.
So the running game for Baltimore is completely nowhere. They have 2 great running backs, no output from them. It's been crawling all day.
And we'll see what happens when we return. We'll continue the momentum here. Your score, the Patterson U 12, the Baltimore Gators nothing. It's Gators ball to start the half. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. It's a dreary day in Asbury Park, but the action is exciting here. It's the A7FL live on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Corey Hammond and LJ Smith. LJ, what's your thoughts on the first half?
First half, like we touched about it a little bit during the halftime. Obviously the Gators had a slow start. Those two turnovers that Corey mentioned was huge. Obviously, their quarterback, Ace Boogie, is out, so now they have. So now with Crosland now filling in the shoes, he has big shoes to fill. The Gators are one of the top teams in the Baltimore division. They're not used to losing. They might lose 1 or 2 games every year, right? So they have a history of winning just like the U. The U are the back-to-back champions. The U are, they're obviously the favorites to win it all, especially now with 20 teams throughout the country. Now we've expanded to 20 teams throughout the country. So they still are the favorites, regardless of who we added, regardless of what states have been added. They're still, they're still a favorite.
And we're throwing off to begin the second half. This one will bounce into the end zone. And here comes an opportunity for the Patterson U to keep things going.
That's Sadiq Pitts with making one man miss. Has the corner.
And gets to the 50-yard line, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Patterson U.
He couldn't beat the big guy to that spot. Man,
he had a good angle. He had a good angle.
He had to take that for 6.
But it will be 1st and 10 starting things off. And we did have some action earlier today. The Trenton BIC in a victory over the Silk City Animals 51-0. And also yesterday.
Wait, what was that score you said?
51-0.
Cold-blooded.
We take a look at the score from earlier today. Actually, yesterday. We'll get to that in just a second. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 49-yard line.
Quattrell Huff out there with that inside motion. Whoa, with a jet sweep over here.
Uh-oh.
None of that.
And they've been trying to use Kyle Ward a lot today. I think they're trying to get him involved in the offense. You can see, obviously, based on those arms, he's in the gym a lot. But, that's an easy completion because those technically those little toss pitches count as a completion for Huffin. That's one of those quarterback tricks. You want to get those stats up.
Yeah.
And it'll be second and 9.
LJ wrote the book on it.
Yeah, I know about that.
Another quick screen out to Jumpman.
And Joel Rivera getting to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1. And yesterday, the Queen City Crush facing their first competition outside of Cincinnati. Getting the win over the Tampa Nightcrawlers.
Oh, the Nightcrawlers.
26-14.
Oh, wow.
Handoff inside.
You said that man was DK Metcalf earlier, too.
Hard
DK,
body.
Great presence, gets in the way of a huge man.
Matt, what did I tell you about that? There's a grown man out there, Matt. Hard body.
He hit him up like Tupac in 94. That's what that man did.
West Side.
But how is a U-man on the floor?
Oh, man.
That's number 50. He is down. That is Shaquem McCutcheon.
Let's look at this.
That's the quick screen to jump man.
Yeah,
we almost missed it because the U's hurry-up offense is so fast.
But we'll take a brief timeout here. Patterson U with the ball driving. Your score, Patterson U 12, Baltimore nothing. We'll be back with the Patterson U with the ball in just 2 minutes' time. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. It'll be first down for the Patterson U. 13:59 left to go in the third quarter. The Patterson U with a hard run from hard body. Starting things off, it'll be 1st and 10. Ball placed on the 32-yard line for Quattro Huffin and company. Without Kareem Moon today, which I think is a huge X factor, not on the roster today.
Yes.
That, I think, is a big obstacle trying to open up the offense without one of the best players in the league. Play action!
Told you play action's on its way. Woo! Hey, slipped through there. Having fun. One hit. Yeah, that's a great pass and a great catch.
The U really understands their personnel, and when you see the replay, who they have out there, they have a double tight, and they have Ski Johnson, who's known for his blocking in. So what they do is they come in a crack motion, do that fake toss, almost that the Gators have. Because look at who they got out there. They got Rashad Green, number 10. Rashad Knight, number 10. Dot Boss, number 2. Number 4, Ski Johnson. Those are big set. That's a blocking set. So what the Gators are looking at it, they're saying, oh, it's gonna be a run. Well, guess what? It's not.
And just that quick hitch over the middle to find space into the double coverage. And you see the tackle here going down. He might have got clipped with a knee on that one. So I'm walking off the field. But he's back in playing.
He's taking his time to get out, giving his guys a little breather after that brief stint in the hurry-up.
And that's the thing about the A7FL. The clock keeps running except for in the under 2 minutes in the second quarter, fourth quarter, and during injuries. So Ski Johnson will have to take a walk. I don't know if we're going to see him for the rest of the game this afternoon. And
there's Sly Washington right now. He's one of those guys that he's here to win. He's not about stats. He's not about, look at me, but he is here to win. And as the U looks to potentially punch it in and go up 18-0, we're going to have to see a big play from number 1 for the Gators.
Clock continues to run after the injury timeout. 13:01 left to play.
Got him. Bye-bye. You were just saying it, right?
And there he is.
Hit him with the Leroy Jenkins, just ran right in and took him out.
Yeah, so slide.
Normally he lines up at corner, and I've played against him a couple years ago when I was on BRC, and he was lining up at corner. Now he's actually shifted into more of that speed rusher because he's not afraid. Yeah. He's not afraid to get in there and get get involved in the dirty work. And what you see is a delayed blitz. No one's there to block him, and he's so fast that even Quattro Huffin was caught unawares.
Yeah, he got too much speed.
You'll see it here on the replay. Little bit of he got that start. He timed it perfectly, found the seam. Number 10 didn't even know it was happening.
Well, and Hardbody's supposed to come there with the cross-face play action. He was really excited to get out there in a route. That extra weight he's put on in the offseason gives him that half a step slower, so he's got to get out faster.
The snap in trouble immediately.
Another one.
Huff down.
Down, baby. That's another sack.
Almost gets hit with a shining wizard on that play, but the sack will be attributed to number 42, Calvin Lamback. And the Gators defense has come out chomping. They are feisty here in the second half.
That's 4 or 5 sacks that the Gators have right now on the Patterson U. And the U is very rarely allowing sacks to anyone. And that's why they're still in this game, the Gators.
Gators, you guys got to remember, the Gators have one of the toughest defenses in the league. People forget, just because now they're struggling offensively, they are, like I said, their defense is top-notch. If anyone's going to shut down, if anyone get their hand on the quarterback, it is them.
Yeah, and that is the last time this U team lost a game. It was to the Immortals in the 2019 championship game. And it was still a close game, but the Immortals came with a aggressive pressure, and that's what really won them not only that game, but the championship of the A7FL.
Oh, wait a second. The dot boss, of course, is in motion. You know what that means. That means the ball's coming his way.
3rd and 20, and now number 10 in motion. That's Rashad Knight.
Look at that matchup.
Snap. Not a lot of time. Gets rid of this one to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone. Baltimore turnabout being fair play, and the Gators will get the ball 1st and 10 on the 20. That one by Amari Skinner. Frozone with the INT. And when we come back, the Patterson U are going to have to be on defense with their backs against the wall. Big play by Baltimore. Can they come back? Can they react to it? We'll be back in a moment. And we see the man who set it up on that interception. Corey, break down this replay for us.
So pressure doesn't always only just get sacks, but you see Quattro Huffin thrown off his back foot, can't reach the receiver in the end zone. And although Amani Skinner's been getting the benefit of some underthrown balls so far today, he's been taking advantage, and it'll be 1st and 10 with the give to Deion McDaniel.
Woo! Deion McDaniel with a hard run.
So let me tell you something. The Gators smell blood. They got their hands. They was able to get their hands on Quattro, right? Now, guess what? Now their offense is pumped.
But
now they need that energy.
Well, we've seen them pumped a couple of times today, and they've not been able to
But
convert on those opportunities.
Not back-to-back sacks on Quattro, then a pick. So think about it. Back-to-back sacks, then an interception, then one of the biggest runs they've had in the game.
Well, if anything, the Gators believe when they're on defense that they can stop the U now.
Right, exactly.
What they have to prove is that they can put up even 1 point, because it's still 0, and they've gotten a couple of big plays, but they haven't been able to do it when it matters.
Sadiq Pitts up top. No coverage on the lone wide receiver. The handoff to Super Saiyan, and he cuts through, eating some sensu beans to get to the 40.
And of course, he's going to go nuts.
I'll tell you, he's my favorite player. It doesn't matter if he gets 1 yard. It doesn't matter. He always takes off the head and gets pumped.
And it's not for show. That's real.
He's like if caffeine were a person.
Right, exactly. Imagine if he just got his DoorDash
And
food.
caffeine is the PG way to say it.
So
I think we can agree on that, because you see, there's no blocking here. There's no reason that she should have anything, and he just makes bigger men miss. Bigger men have to stop him, and even with 2 men on him, you saw he got the forward leg drive.
And he drived in that shoulder. He drived it right into Sadiq Pitts, putting the pressure in there. Great run, and there we see Matthews with one heck of a day. Antoine Matthews, a.k.a. Super Saiyan. It'll be 1st down.
Somebody's got to stop.
In motion, and it looks like that might have been illegal motion.
Every time I see the Gators line up, you look at Matthews, and he lines up, and he's one of the starters. Sometimes he's even in on defense. And your eye seems to question it at first. You're thinking, what's going on?
And we're going to find out after a timeout call by the Gators, burning a timeout early. Will it pay off, or will we see the Patterson U gain the momentum back? We'll find out in 30 seconds' time. This is the A7FL on Stadium. After getting a big turnover, the Patterson U's defense really standing up to the Baltimore Gators after giving up an INT in the end zone, LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. Let's see if they're able to convert here on 2nd and 4. I'm Matt Ryan. This is the A7FL Games of the Week live on Stadium. 3-man front off the snap.
And he slips through there. He's always avoiding those sacks, and then right out of bounds.
We got a yellow hanky on the play. Flag trouble. Another illegal motion call for Baltimore. We saw the Patterson U calling for that flag before the timeout. So it'll be a replay of 2nd down. It will be 2nd and 9 now after the 5-yard loss. And Baltimore stepping on rakes here, shooting themselves in the foot. They're their own worst enemy, in my opinion, so far today. Going up against a Patterson U team that has looked more human, Corey, than I've seen them in the last 3 seasons of action.
On offense, they definitely have. But on defense, they've still been the Patterson U that we expect, and that's what's winning them this game. They do have the 12 points, and their defense has given them, their offense has given them enough, really, in their minds, probably to think that they can win this game. But really what the Gators have to decide is who they are in this game. Without their starting quarterback, John Gauze, without a semblance of a running game, they got to figure out how they're going to get the ball downfield.
The snap off the screen, cutting up field, and a bit of momentum back there after the toss, LJ.
Yeah, Snag Sosa, the pressure's starting to come in, and he just dumped it off the snag. Unfortunately, Snags usually breaks that up for about 10 to 12, but got him out of bounds. So.
Well, that's not a bad gain, because if they continue to consistently get 5 yards, they'll eventually potentially have one of those bigger plays available. We saw it on the big dump-off pass to the tight end, Ayote. But on 3rd and 9, this is the position that you don't want to be in against the U, because the defensive line is going to come knowing that they're rushing a passer. And what Crosland has been able to show is that he can make a couple men miss, but he can't make all 3 of them miss at once.
Right.
And this is a game of what might have been, what could have been on both sides of the ball. 6:49 left to go. 12-0 the score. Baltimore looking to get on the board. Flag on the play. Free play here. Crosland cutting upfield.
Don't hesitate. Get downfield.
and he'll collapse
I like
around
his
the
wheels.
35.
I like his wheels.
He's got a motor on him.
He
man.
definitely. He got a little.
He was looking for a cutback too early, I think, there. If he just took off, he might have had a little bit more space. The team speed for the U is elite, and that was a free play, and it was a good way to take advantage of it. And it's a first down and a good play for the Gators. I think that they should try to incorporate a little bit more designed runs for their quarterback because he's shown that he can do it. Because every time they line up for a pass, he's looking to do this, and he can.
Yep.
Finds that lane, finds that zone, cuts upfield, has a lot of momentum, but I think that hitch there, he went a little too early, as you said, Corey, couldn't find that second gear and transition it into the end zone. That turf is wet out there today, and it will make some bad decisions for you.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those guys that would be able to do that per se if it was available to me.
I'd
But it
like
looked
to
like
see
it might have
what
been
happens
able
if
to
that
get
does.
there.
No, I'm looking at your face while you're saying that. You really think you could do that, Corey?
You must have been seeing something else on my face.
The snap off the handoff makes one man miss, cutting upfield, but can't stay in bounds.
Deion
Yeah,
McDaniel.
he runs hard. He's one of, anytime it's funny, I went to a restaurant one time in Baltimore, and everyone in the city knows this guy. He's the guy, like.
He's the mayor of
yeah,
Baltimore.
I said, hey, man, can I get 10% off? Who do you know? I know Deion. But no, everyone knows this guy. And like I said, he's one of those power backs. He got good speed, but
It's a good delay. You see the offensive line allows Pitts through and then lays on top of him to finish it.
Yeah, look at that pancake.
I want to talk about
was a slip.
Tyron Brown, the cornerback off the edge on the top of your screen. He knew that run was coming, but he bit on the delay, did not cut in. His eyes were peered.
Well,
right on
the U
Crosland.
is packing the box with 5 guys, so you should not be able to run on it. But if they over-pursue going to the pass, maybe you got an opportunity.
The snap by Crosland. That one will fall deep. It looked like it almost got batted down.
Yeah, got tipped at the line of
Tip
scrimmage.
slipped out of his hand. There was a lot going on there. Pressure off the edge. And I'm not even sure what the wide receiver was doing because it looked like he was running a go and 25 right there, the Honey Badger was there running a curl.
The Gators are two teams on either side of the 50, in my opinion. That's what we've seen today. It's a tale of two teams on opposite sides of the 50-yard line, and it's not really worked out for the Gators to their advantage. Not able to complete on fourth downs. I'm not able to say polysyllabic words right now, but
Polysyllabic.
let's take a look
Can't
for
even say that
Crosland.
either.
6 rushes for 41 yards, really helping bolstering this offense.
Yeah,
despite
but
no
what's
points on the
hurting them
board.
is his passing stats because he's got to complete some of those balls.
Go back to Dion.
Kickoff, passes, drives that one upfield. That one will get the first down and more. Get him in closer to the end zone, getting the first down. Ball placed around the 23.
Dion just took it upon himself in that one. That would have been short for a first. He just, like I said.
Well, that set of downs, he got all the rushing yards to get the first down.
That was a force of will run. We'll check here.
It's good
and
blocking.
a little bit of a hold. We didn't catch it, but a slight hold. And it will be 1st and 10 with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, 4 plays take him down. Sheesh.
Neither team able to score here in the second half. The Gators driving cross country here. A leisurely stroll through Asbury Park. It will be 1st and 10 snap.
And again, he's slipping. Can he slip there? Not that time. Not that time. And who's that one to sack?
It's Isaac.
That's my
Isaac
man there. Isaac Negron.
And he getting a little help from the big man Burton there. As an eclipse falls over the Baltimore Gators, and no daylight there for them at all. We'll take a look here again on the replay. Off the edge immediately, number 10 came in, but a little too fast. Was not able to catch Crosland. But on the end, Isaac Negron.
What you see, the defensive line for the U, they're playing a couple of games here. They're keeping guys back, sending different guys. So number 77, offensive lineman for the Gators, stayed on J-Rock, who didn't rush, and the edge man came free, which forced the quarterback Crosland into the arms of Isaac, and that's why we have the 2nd and 14.
It'll be 2nd and 14. Eligible receiver on the line. That's the big man off the edge. The snap.
Ooh, a good pass. And snags everything. Always got to let someone know. Can't guard me. I'm going to catch it every time.
Talking his talk. He has been very aggressive
Yeah.
on short gains today, letting everybody know he earns every single yard on that field.
Snaggs is known for 2 things in this league, his speed and his mouth.
And it'll be offside.
And as fast as his legs move is as fast as his mouth can move.
It'll be offside call on the defense.
But you saw on the quick throw when a quarterback is able to throw the ball on time, gets to that back step, fires the ball, even the fast pass rush for the U can't get there. So if the Gators are going to pull out this game, they need a little bit more of that type of easy play. And then they're going to have to get that tighter coverage to stop that hook and catch either Matthews or Snags or Sly on that deep ball. Because there's only so much you can do against the U. And the Gators have been successful with little of it.
The snap, the quarterback Crosland keeping it, and he will drive to about the 20-yard line, and it will be 3rd down, a minute 57. The clock keeps running here in the A7FL when you go out of bounds. The only time it stops is under 2 minutes in the first half and at the end of the second half. And you see Big Mo Ramadan, we talked about him before. He is playing in this game today while observing Ramadan, so this man has been fasting for the last few days, and he is looking to bring the heat here and get the win. I couldn't imagine the strain he's putting himself through now. Yeah. That's dedication.
Yeah, we got 2 guys doing that. We got Big Mo, who's probably the bigger name, and then my guy from the Renegades, Abe Albana, the wide receiver, also observing Ramadan. It's a tough ask because these guys are dead tired in these games.
That'll be 4 on the line, 4 in the box, 1 safety at the top of your screen. Not a lot of time. In trouble, Crosland.
Good pass.
Oh, he could have made Sports Center if he caught that one. And that one will be incomplete, meant for Sly Washington.
Yeah, tough to get the ball on target when you got guys coming, rushing full speed to your face. Give credit to Crosland for getting the ball out. But when the ball's up like that, if you're Sly and you want to win this game, you got to figure out a way to come down with that, even though it wasn't really a catchable ball.
Listen, he's putting that ball up there. It's big-time plays make big-time plays. He got to come down with one of them, right?
Crosland under 50% passing for the day, 6 for 18, 118 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 costly interceptions. Both of them on fourth down.
The one was on 4th and 5, and it was a give-up play. So you got to give him credit for at least giving one of his guys a chance. Right. But right now, we got a quarter left of football to play, guys, with 10 seconds left, and he's got to find the end zone soon.
4th and 8, caught! A.O.T. driving towards the end zone.
What season is it, Matt? What season is it, Matt?
Boy season! It's Baltimore getting in the end zone. That's more than A.O.T. It's 12-6. Gentlemen, we have a ball game with a walk-off in the 3rd.
You said it was your thick boy season?
Thick boy season.
I told you, once they get into that end zone, the Gators, now look at the body language is changing. Look at the U's pointing fingers. Who had him? He's just a big guy.
The catch, too. Just the light one-handed grab.
Yeah, that's not your token big guy touchdown. That is extreme athleticism with a gut. And I love that gut because that gut caused him to go in. The will of the gut forced him through the end zone line. And now we got a game, guys, because with 1 quarter left, 12-6, Patterson U hasn't been in this position, I think, in a couple of years.
I think not since playing the BIC last season.
And the one thing the Gators have in their back pocket is the confidence on defense to stop the U. Now, will they?
I
don't know.
The thing I love about that is the Space Jam 1 extension.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a big play by A.O.T. They will be going for 1 here.
This is huge right here. This stop.
The screen up and that one a little too early. But at the end of 3, your score, Patterson 12, but Baltimore now it's 6 on the board. What will happen when the Patterson U get the ball back and get the opportunity to make this a 2-score game again? We'll find out in just 2 minutes' time. We're going to take a brief timeout and we'll reset here for the start of the 4th quarter. Can Patterson maintain? We'll find out here on Stadium. The first score of the second half came from the Baltimore Gators, putting the only score on the board so far in the second half and getting some more yards here. Only 7 extra rushing yards in the 3rd quarter, but the passing yards telling the story here. 139 passing yards through 3 periods for the Baltimore Gators, still lagging behind the Patterson U in passing yards and on the scoreboard. Your score, Patterson 12, Baltimore 6. This is the A7FL live on Stadium. And before Crosland throws it off for the 3-on-1, We have had an epic game. I'm joined by Corey Hammond and LJ Smith, and here's a chance for the Patterson U and number 7, Kyle Ward, to make something happen here.
And let's see if Kyle Ward can get through here. Oh, good tackle.
Got caught up in that one. Got stuck in the taffy puller.
Yeah. A lot of these, so these two teams have not been, they don't have the, you know, like we see from the previous games, like we see with Ashanti Worthy, those type of super speed elusive guys. They don't, unfortunately, they don't have, because we would have seen multiple touchdowns on these 301s. These 301s are not, fans, listen, I don't want you guys to think that this is what the norm is.
But next up at 4 o'clock, we've got Pack Money, Marcellus Pack, one of the most dynamic
and
returners
Khalil
in
Green,
the league.
and Khalil Green, let's go.
And the
Ice cream
handoff,
truck.
ice cream truck, trying to come to your neighborhood, anything but Mr. Softy, getting 4 on that one. And it will be second down, and here comes a hurry-up offense of the U. I think, Corey, we talked about it in the break, this one will come up.
Yeah, well, 12-6, they better get on their horse and start scoring, because the Gators have confidence now.
Number 8, Devin Hall, saying, don't play with me.
That's right.
He said it with less kind words than I did.
He said he's lactose free. That's what he told you, right, Matt? He said, I don't play that.
And the U comes in with their 4-minute offense looking to, you know, kill the clock. They got 2 running backs in, both of them pretty big and fast.
Only one wide receiver set to the top of your screen. The handoff, and here comes the ice cream truck bowling through. It will be third down, but relying on the run here early, gentlemen. LJ, the ice cream truck, this man ain't soft serve.
Well, you know what happens? That no huddle doesn't even give the time, the defense to set up, to talk about things. Hey, what are we going to do in this? And he goes right back to the no huddle, back to the inside zone, and the ice cream truck, he's just preserving that ice cream. Nice, like you said, soft serve, like soft serve.
2 running backs set. Ice cream truck will move to the slot. The snap on 3rd and 1. Play action.
Oh, man, shook the cameraman there. Hey!
Throws this one from the sideline. Oh! That one could be pass interference, but it will not be. And it will be 4th and 1. The play broken up by Joshua Butcher, a.k.a. DK. And he went bananas on that one. Princess is in another castle, and it'll be 4th and 1.
And what do you do in this one, Corey? I mean, again, I go to you in this situation, 4th and 1.
First and second down, you're getting easy yardage with ice cream truck on an easy run play.
Okay.
A 4th and 1. You fake it.
Go up top?
Huff off backside. No, just a nice little quarterback gets the yardage there, but then they go spread here.
There's only 2 on the line. That's a dangerous game.
No, but ice cream truck is at the slot, so
they will load up the line.
Something was happening.
Might not have made it. Now it looks like they got a great spot there, but they go from a 4-wide shift to a tight formation quarterback draw.
They got us. They got this.
And they're gonna get a great spot. I think it was a lot closer, you know, just from the eyes here, you know, in the booth. But you know, credit to the refs who called a pretty great game today. Nice and clean. Nobody's upset. Hard body.
Hard body.
That's how you tackle a big man like that. Now the Gators let up the 4th down. That's a letdown. But it's good to see on 1st and 10 they get back to get into 2nd and 11. But the U's trying to win the game here. They're grinding out the clock. Under 12 minutes now.
They're playing like they have something to lose, and we'll take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, just a great gang tackle. Missed blocks from the U, which you don't see a lot of the time. But you can tell that the Gators came with a little bit smaller defensive line, but they're quicker. And they're getting off the blocks.
Smothered and covered on that stop. It'll be 2nd 11. Look
at
at
Sosa.
Look at Sosa on the line. And Huff in trouble.
He is.
Huff brought down.
Snag Sosa, ladies and gentlemen. Snag Sosa.
Snagging Quattro Huffin.
And don't give him a reason to talk, because I'm sure he's saying a lot of words.
Why was he like a little Bugs Bunny shaking on his leg on that, man?
He got that caffeine in him.
That's a chemical reaction. That's a chemical reaction.
And we see off the line,
man.
Denied, deterred, but nah, son, I'm good. Hold on. Hold me back, because if not, he going down, and then brought down with impunity, and it will be 3rd and 11.
You saw he got dominated there on the block. It's great balance that hard body didn't just knock him straight on his back. Stays up, doesn't quit on the play, and makes an impact in this game when he hasn't been able to do anything really on offense. So look at him. He's ready to make an impact on the game. He's absolutely ready to make an impact on the game.
Corey, quick question here. If Ace Boogie's playing right now, is it you losing? They're down?
And third,
I mean, the defense of
With
the U is
time!
also playing
Caught!
great.
Good catch, Smokey.
And Pat Coburn keeping this drive alive for the Patterson U with 10:19 remaining. That's the dynamic attributes of this Patterson U offense. They off the huddle, no huddle, mini huddles, it doesn't matter. They're ready for anything and everything, and they're going to throw the kitchen sink at you.
Yeah, and 3rd and long, all of the fans of Maryland are all hyped after that great play by Snags. And then there's no pressure, easy pocket, throws a bullet to a great route runner in scat, Pat Coburn. Former receiver of mine, thrown him a couple touchdowns in my day.
Battle of the Northeastern accents here this afternoon. Patterson and Baltimore live here on Stadium. Matt Ryan joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond. The handoff to the ice cream truck.
Again, that's a completed pass for those keeping stats at home. So
the truck ran out of gas.
We gotta talk to.
Machine was broken.
We gotta talk to the uniform squad about what the ice cream truck is doing here.
You know what's so funny? The ice cream truck runs over a lot of players, and he usually gets his. This Gators defense,
it's a formidable line.
On 1st and 2nd down, this Gators defense is not allowed a very good play.
But this is all year long. No one's not doing that to these boys.
But on 3rd and 4th down, what have they done against the U so far?
To see the Patterson U enter the 4th quarter with not 100 yards rushing feels so weird.
Yep.
And if you're joining us for the first time, take a look at our Instagram and check out the highlights of the ice cream truck. One of the most dynamic runners in the league, and Baltimore stymieing him and the entire Patterson U running game here today. The snap by Huff.
Oh, look at the rushing here. Can he get away? Out of bounds and no first down.
Almost Irish whipped on the play was Quattrell Huff, and that tackle attributed to Calvin Lambeck. He dragged Huff out of bounds.
But even though he goes out of bounds, based on where we are in the 4th quarter, the clock continues to tick, and you started this drive with 15 left in the 4th quarter.
They have eaten up almost half of the quarter.
The job of their offense has been is twofold. Continue to move the ball, make the clock drip down. And they're executing both of those, and as great as the Gators feel like they're playing on 1st and 2nd down, it's this and 4th down that have kind of been their Achilles heel in this game. And although their defense should be commended for a great game so far, as we look at Nick Mays, who's definitely making his presence felt in today's game. On 3rd and 5, they need that timely sack. They cannot give Quattrell Huffin time in the pocket to complete a pass.
The 3rd and 5 cuts through Huff. Huff in trouble, and Huff brought down. It'll be 4th down, and a loss on the play, and number 61 ready for it.
That's Sherrod Davenport there. Every sack, he does that celebration at the end. Like I said, these guys, this is a special team here.
And a final score from Baltimore. Another Baltimore team getting a win today. The Hit Squad 28, DC Buzz 18.
Ooh.
Final score from Baltimore. The Buzz going 0-2, and getting wrapped up here was Quattrell Huffin.
Got a great view there of a great sack.
Cracking through the offensive line of the Patterson U is the Baltimore Gators.
It's a fault line.
4th and 8 here. This is huge.
And we'll see another view here. 7 minutes time ticking down, and just finding a seam, getting right inside.
That's borderline holding there too.
No, not borderline. That is holding.
All right, they didn't call it. I was just saying.
No need to call Madonna. That one was not on the borderline. 4th and 8 here. Timeout called, and it will be Patterson U taking the timeout, and so are we. We'll be back in 30 seconds time with your score. The Patterson U 12, the Baltimore Gators 6 here on Stadium. We are back here live. The sun, the weather, much like the pace of this game, has changed throughout the afternoon. The Patterson U with the ball have had the ball the entire 4th quarter. Started the ball with it, almost 9-minute drive or the defending A7FL champions, but there's still a lot of time left. They just burned a timeout, and they're only up by 6. Baltimore, with a turnover here on 4th and 8, they're going to get the ball. This is a big opportunity for them. They're going for the 3-on-1 throw-off. A risky move here by Patterson, giving the ball up to Baltimore. The popped up, loose ball, and who comes up with it?
Wow.
And Baltimore will end up with the ball, but it looks like we might have an injury on the field.
Now, wait, he didn't have to catch that, though, right?
No, it's a live ball.
It's a punt.
It's a punt.
It's a punt, so you don't have to catch that.
No, but he got caught with it. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll stay here live. The score 12-6. Patterson with the lead, but not with the ball. Gentlemen, with not so much time left, enough time to make a drive. 3 timeouts.
Well, 6:45 is plenty of time for the Gators.
But if you're the Gators, do you train the clock here, or do you try to score as quickly as you can?
No. You don't know how many chances that you have, because if you score here, even if you score here and get tied 12-12 and you miss the extra point, you want to win the game in regulation. So you got to take the opportunities given to you, and you can't take for granted what the U has done to them all game, which is allowed 6 points because Ayote is just that awesome.
Yeah.
And right now, job 1 is done for the Gators, right? Job 1 is get the ball back.
Right.
And as hard as the U made it, basically almost taking off a full 9 minutes off the clock, they get the job done, and it'll be 1st and 10. But they got 88 yards to go, and snag Sosa here on the inside handoff.
And he gets smothered and covered like a trip to the Waffle House.
Hasn't had a lot of opportunities to make his impact known. That's why he looks so excited there on defense to get that sack.
He was flummoxed and frustrated on offense, and he has been going off on defense.
Really, the only thing that's worked for the Gators so far is Carlson running around and kind of making something happen. That's hard. That's hard to game plan. That's hard to scheme in the huddle. But right now, the U is basically making that running game for the Gators a non-factor.
And the clock continues to run here, 2nd and 9.
If I'm the U, I'm watching that man with the green belly poking out. Watch him.
Already becoming a fan favorite here is Ayote in motion. The toss to Sosa on the sweep.
And snag, they keep giving it to snags. I don't know why they keep doing that.
Well, Deion McDaniel was the one returning there, and
But he got hurt, yeah.
let's see how quickly he comes back from that hit.
And you saw in the huddle, Snags was like, "Give me the ball, I will score."
Yeah.
Well,
He was emphatic coming out of the huddle.
Got yardage on that play, and if you can get consistent yards on 1st and 2nd down and make it a manageable 3rd down, not too bad. But what has happened too often in this game is the Gators force themselves into 3rd and long with a quarterback whose best attribute is his running ability.
Right.
And it puts them in a tough spot, especially against a U that when you watch them rush on this 3rd down, I guarantee 2 guys are coming free.
Inside their own 20. The
Right
toss
back
to
to him.
Sosa,
Woo!
but will he get the 1st down?
Let him know there. Sheesh.
Man, Deion McDaniels, Neon Deion out there, -1 for Patterson. Might be Instagram famous for what he did to Breezy Beeman
Yeah. Well, he did it
last
twice.
year.
Remember, he did it twice. He did it to Breezy, and he did it to the other guy.
Oh, yeah, from the Renegades.
Renegades.
What's his name?
Your guy, yeah. You
Well, I don't even
that.
know that kid's name.
Well,
man.
shout out to the Renegades, right?
No shout out
What
to him.
kind of teammate are you that
Yeah.
you don't
Not
know
on his
your own?
team.
Boo, Corey Hammond, boo!
Man, that guy's never made a play in this league. Make a play in this league, I'll remember your name.
That is how it is here in the the Tribunal of Terror.
Matt,
You can't be famous on the A7FL for getting slammed by a U player.
Matt, get him, Matt.
Baltimore taking a timeout here. And on the Gators, burning their 1st timeout, 3:58 left to go. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Will the Gators be able to make something happen? We'll find out on the other side of this. This is the A7FL on Stadium. We're back live here in Asbury Park, New Jersey, cutting it up. Matt Ryan joined by LJ Smith and Corey Hammond, who's going to be on the field in about 33 minutes from now in our 2nd game of the afternoon. 3:58
That's if
left
we don't
to
go to overtime, guys.
Putting that into
4th
the
and
universe.
inches.
The 4th and inches. Can he get through? He gets denied at the line.
Oh, wait, he fought through that. Hold on.
It's going to be the spot, guys.
And they will give him the
They gave him the
1st
spot.
down.
There you go.
Mo
That's
had
hard
him.
work.
Mo had him. Dead to rights. That roll.
That
First
roll,
down.
that was a huge roll right there. He hit him with that. Yeah, he was.
Well, you only need 2 inches. You only need to put 2 inches in there, right?
Much like
That's
our
what she said.
producer, Alex Soberman, when it counts, he got it done.
Yes.
And that's all that matters. Shout out to Alex, shout out to David, shout out
This
to
play
everybody
was not going to work from the rip.
booth.
And there's nowhere for Crosland to go. And even Big Mo says, let's go.
And it will be 1st and 10.
But just the sheer
But
will,
the
the heart.
clock is still running, gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's the problem. 3:15 left to go.
You got plenty of time, and you got 2 timeouts still.
Plus he got an arm. So
But
it's not
still,
like
we've
Yeah, but he
seen them
hasn't
go
completed it.
We've seen them go to 4th down too many times.
Yeah, true.
1st and 10. Ball set.
The Gators are holding on 1
Three.
play at a time, Matt. 1 play at a time.
Here comes that deep ball. Or use his legs. He's fast too. Hey!
Crosland!
Give me some blocking downfield.
He's crafty!
Still going.
It's just like that! He's crafty!
Too
First down!
And LJ, that's them gas prices catching up to you. when it's $5 a gallon, when you get to the 30, you need to refill.
Proving that it's cheaper in Baltimore. Getting the first down is Carlos Crosland.
That's those gas prices.
He
Let's
should
see
have filled up. He should have filled up that tank before he came
I'll
up
tell you
here.
what, when you shift to 5th gear right here and get past the ice cream truck, who himself is on diesel, you open up and you use a lot of gas right here. And it's
He
great
riding
blocking
that
downfield.
Tesla wave right now.
Oh, look at that block.
I mean,
oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If he had the gas, I think he had the speed to get there. Great play by Sadiq to chase him down there.
His future grandchildren are going to feel that block.
But what we've seen, guys, is that between the 20s, great movement of the ball. Let's see if they can punch it in.
Last play before the 2-minute warning on the screen, and they will get there.
Did he
But
catch
we
it?
are
'Cause
at
if
the
he
He's waiting for it, right? You're waiting for the Super Saiyan?
But we're going to see if they're going to be able to make something happen here. We're going to be back in 60 seconds. We're at the 2-minute warning. Can Baltimore tie it up, or will Patterson be able to lock it down? We'll find out as we go to the end of this one. This is the A7FL on Stadium. (12-6) your score, but the story has been so close but so far for the Baltimore Gators. Can they tie it? The snap. Thrown deep. Off the hands!
Come on. That was the one he had to come down with, Matt. Come on.
And that is the voice of L.J. Smith. Corey Hammond, break it down.
And that's the way you got to attack that ball. The ball was a high arcing fade. Perfect throw. Gave his tall wide receiver, Sly Washington, the perfect opportunity to catch the ball. And you saw Kyle Ward over pursued and was not going to be able to make the tackle if he caught that. These are the differences in championship type teams. If you make that play, Gators go up, 150 left, high score. Maybe you can go up 1 with a conversion, which is we haven't seen today.
We haven't seen
But now with 3rd and 9,
we haven't seen in 2 years that they've been down and lose a game. Come on.
now with 3rd and 9, you have tight coverage on the Super Saiyan at the top of your screen.
Check the edge, too. The snap, in trouble. Kaza gets away, throws towards the end zone, swatted down, and it will be another 4th down for Baltimore with 1:45 left to go. Neon Dion with a little help from number 23. Sadiq Pitts.
So
he gotta come down with that.
And that play, that plays a similar play, but that's actually a great defensive play by Neon Dion. You see, he's got great recovery skill, and even if Sylvester was wide open there, Dion's able to get his hands on the ball and knock it down.
It'll be 4th down. It was a penalty, but it was waved off by the Patterson U.
And first and foremost, if you're Crosland, you got to focus on getting the first down. On those last 2 plays, he's been looking to kind of punch it in, and a deep play. On this, if he breaks the containment of the defensive line on the quick pressure, he's got to just put his head down and get that 9 yards, because this is 4th down now, and you get an opportunity if you can convert that 9 yards to score again. But if you put the ball up and it gets knocked down, that's pretty much game over.
It's 3rd and 9, 1:45 left to go here in the 4th quarter. The snap. Crosland in trouble. On 3rd down. Brought down on 4th down. The Patterson U setting a standard for what it means to be in this league. The champs looking to stay undefeated with 1:32 left to go.
That's my man IS right there. IS, a hard hit.
And for those of you new to the league, what the insiders know is that Facebook will not be safe for the rest of the week. Isaac is going to get on the Facebook, and he's going to talk about that moment every single day until next Sunday.
He's going to remind you.
Runoff here. It will be 1:19 left to go. Both teams with 2 timeouts. But
And in a do-or-die play, Crosland was getting free on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, but on 4th, the U were not going to let him free.
Shut him down, and we got a little bit of a conversation here.
Brian Shamar, shout-outs to the very effective manager of personalities here, because if we're being honest, there's a lot of tough guys to manage on that U sideline, and Ryan Shamar, who's pretty much the vocal leader and then the head of this organization, he's been able to keep those huge egos in check for years and years. And here's the replay, just nowhere to go.
That play broke down.
You know, great sack from number 77 for the Gators.
Did you see how IS bullied his man in front of him first before he made that sack? He bullied him. Sheesh.
We're going to take a brief timeout, and the Patterson U are going to look to put a bow on this one. We'll be back with the end of your fourth quarter in just about 30 seconds' time. This is the A7FL. The score, Patterson 12, Baltimore 6. We're live here on Stadium. Your score, Patterson U 12, Baltimore Gators 6. And both of these teams trying to assert themselves here. Baltimore trying to argue their case, but it was fourth down on that play.
I think what they're talking about is the St. Peter's run in the March Madness tournament. Everybody's really excited.
What a run for the St. Peter's Peacocks. But we've had a great run here today on Stadium, and we'll be bringing you another game at 4 o'clock. We're going to be back. We're going to be live on Stadium as the Old Bridge Hawks battle against the Baltimore Rare Breed. And you know what, Corey Hammond, what can you tell us about this Baltimore Rare Breed team as you prepare to face them with the New Jersey Hawks?
Well, I think we all saw them last week against BIC, and their offense can be electric. I think their defense letting up 53 points is a little bit of a unfair comparison, you know, based on the athletes that we're seeing. But that Rare Breed team is going to be a tough game for the Hawks, and we're prepared. As you see me, I'm actually got my Under Armour. I'm just about to get ready. I'm not going to go too many buttons on live television, but you know, thank you to Under Armour for keeping me warm. Got the whites, all white. You know what I mean? So we're getting ready. New Jersey Hawks taking on Baltimore. We're in the Baltimore division, guys, as Old Bridge Hawks.
And we will be back into live action here. I'm Matt Ryan. You saw it on the graphic. LJ Smith and Hammond. It'll be 1st and 10 for Patterson. Did they look to ice this one with a score and try to make them burn timeouts? The handoff.
If he can get him out of bounds, right? The clock stops?
Yep, clock will stop.
And they still have 2 timeouts. So that's actually a really bad play by Daryl Luck, who's relatively, known as a smart player. I think I've even seen him in his career go down, before scoring a touchdown to keep, the clock moving. So the clock stops there. Gators fans, somewhere in Baltimore are very excited about the potential.
City of Baltimore really excited that play got stopped. It'll be 2nd and 10, no gain on that one.
But LJ, you and me both know is Gators better be very careful right now for a deep play action, because the U are cold-blooded.
Huff will keep the ball. He will run towards the sideline, and they will be kept, but the ball will bounce out of play, but a flag on the play.
Hair is part of the uniform, so it depends on if they tackled Huff by his hoodie or his hair, because I think, unfortunately, that's going to be the nail in the coffin for the Gators if it's a first down, because with only 2 timeouts, all they have to do is run the ball forward.
We'll see on the replay here where the call is. It looks like it might
holding on the ice cream truck.
Ice cream truck holding him sweetly and tightly as if he was dancing at a wedding. Surprised he didn't do the stepping on the feet thing.
That's right.
But that is bad news for the Patterson U, and it will be a 3rd down. They will decline the penalty, and they will make Patterson try on 3rd down here.
Well, they keep the 2 timeouts.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because it's the penalty, right? So it's a penalty.
That's still a gamble, because if you're saying that the U can't get 12 yards on 1 run play, you're saying that they can't do it.
We haven't seen a lot of it today. We haven't seen a lot of great runs.
If you're saying that they can't do it and that you're trusting that your defense can stop them, you're taking a relatively big risk. But I think with 1:06 left, and as hard as it has been for the Gators, the more time they have, the better. The less timeouts they use, the better. And we'll see on 3rd and 12, it looks like they're going to open up the offense here with 2 wide receivers at the top of your screen, and then watch out for number 2, Dot Boss. Last time I said that, like Nostradamus, he did get the pass and converted on a 40-yard game.
No, he's not eligible.
He's not the eligible receiver.
Look at the hard body.
The throw, that was swatted out of the air, and it will be 4th down. The back-to-back champions on their home turf have been pressed by the Baltimore Gators. Someone's O has to go, but Will it be Patterson's?
Well, and you look at what just happened in those past, 6 plays? We thought that it was going to be game over on 4th down. First down, you run out of bounds. Second down, you have a penalty that stops clock. And on 3rd down, you're real confident in your offense, which has struggled today. And the ball gets tipped by a great play from the defensive lineman. And now it'll be 4th and 12. You got 2 timeouts. And Crosland hasn't been great today, but he's shown that he has heart, and he's not going to give in.
He hasn't played great, but you know what? One thing he's done, he's kept him in the ball game. You know,
he's got the touchdown to AOT.
He's made some mistakes, but he's kept him in the ball game.
He might be earning that G here today. We talked about it at the start of the program. The 3-on-1, and that one launched on a dime.
Jeez.
That one will be called out of play. It'll be wondering where they spot it. They spotted at the 10.
So they're gonna need 97 yards.
Yeah, in a minute,
and 2.
And we're gonna see if they're able to do it in about 60
and
seconds
an extra
time.
Point.
We'll be back with the end of this one. Will the Patterson U be able to hold on, or will the Baltimore Gators make this one go to overtime? We'll be back in a moment on Stadium. The Baltimore Gators, through grit, determination, and a few lucky penalties, see themselves just about 90 yards away from tying this one. The only thing standing between them and chin-checking the 2021 and 2020 champions is about 90 yards and one of the best defenses in pro football. It'll be 1st and 10. Coslin snaps.
And look at the ball.
Has him, got him!
Come on! Oh, wait, I'm waiting for it. Here comes the waiting for it. Hold on. Come on, I want to see it. What is he doing?
Not to the other sideline. He's going to do it to his own sideline. Here he comes. Here he comes. That's a penalty, though. That's delayed.
Nah. They're not going to throw a penalty.
Timeout Baltimore.
No, this is too much football going on right here. We have to, come on.
Timeout Baltimore. We're going to take a 30-second one on our end as well. We'll be back in 30. Can the Gators find a way to stop it? This is the A7FL on Stadium. Do not miss a moment. We're back here, under a minute left to play. The snap on 1st and 10.
He got him again.
Trouble and brought it down.
IS again. That's all day for him. How many sacks is he going to get today?
A lot.
Somewhere between 17 and 38.
17
I'm not
to 38.
sure.
Well, it's only 4, so
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot to go to 17. But
No, but he's getting them a crucial time.
that step up in the pocket. What Isaac's coming is he's coming from right in the middle of your screen. And that edge pressure forces the quarterback to step up in the pocket. And if that man isn't there, it's a really big run for Crosland. But
they'll burn a timeout.
Now both timeouts are gone. 35 seconds left on the clock. And as big as the plays that Matthews has had today, earlier with the long completion on the first drive of their game, and then that slant and go, which was absolutely
Joseph
executed to
Negron
perfection.
with 3 sacks today.
Yeah,
Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaac Negron.
There's the slant and go, and Kyle Ward has been abused today on both offense and defense. He's really been struggling. He's a very good football player, so we might even see him come back on this next play.
I love watching him flex.
I mean, does he actually gain weight, though, when he does that? I feel like he goes from like 135 to like 170.
He gets stronger. Actually, he gets stronger.
He fluctuates depending on the down.
He trains in the 100 Gs, right?
Yeah.
He trains in 100 gravity.
16, they are going to need some sensory deprivation chambers. Eligible receiver on the end of the line for the Baltimore Gators. 35 seconds, time winding down. The throw downfield over the head of the receiver, and it will be 3rd and 16. Not where you want to be. The only time you like 3 and 16 is when you're Steve Austin, and it's a little stone cold out here for the Baltimore Gators.
Well, I think the audience could use a beer. Talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's the first thing I think of. But when you roll out and you have a man downfield like that, and it's 4th quarter time, you have to put the ball somewhere on the money. And I think as deep as the ball was and how far he had to throw it, the rush and the constant pressure on Crosland forced the inaccurate pass there. And Sly Boogie, number 1, Sylvester Washington, he's had his opportunities today. And on 3rd and 16 with 27 seconds, the Gators are basically at their last breath.
There's
Jamaica!
What?
Tipped!
Jamaica! To the house?
Slides, takes this one to the house. Touchdown, Patterson U, and they put the icing on the cake and silence Baltimore faster than you could say Ed Cranepool. The Patterson U remain undefeated with an epic walk-off here, similar to what we saw the Hawks do a week ago, but this time they light the lamp, they score the touchdown, and Patterson will remain undefeated.
Matt,
what a way to end it.
Matt, we were just saying this. We was like, how can this game get even better, right? How can what is it that can happen that can make this game even more epic? And look, Air Jamaica, longtime Patterson U vet, takes it to the house for 6.
Now, the 3-on-1, guys, is an untimed down, and there is
true.
still 19 seconds on the clock. But you know what?
Nah, Corey,
when
come
the
on.
Gators have had their opportunities, the U has rose to the occasion. So the U right now, if we really break it down, they did not have a very good game today.
They didn't.
Now, they're playing a tough team. The Gators are no slouch. The Gators didn't come here to roll over and allow the U to beat them. But when it came down to it on the 3rd downs, on the 4th downs, on the change of possessions, on the big plays, the U showed up, and they showed why they're the champions of the A7FL, and the Gators are going to be sick going home thinking that they had a shot at an upset today and missed out on these misplays.
We'll try to ice it here with a 2-point conversion. 2 on the line, 4 wide receivers to snap. The rainbow caught.
Good catch.
First
just
conversion
insult to
of
injury.
the day.
Wow, good catch. Back shoulder catch right there on that left side of that end zone. What a pass and what a catch.
What a play, what a setup. Corey Hammond will be leaving us, but when we return, we'll be bringing you the final 19 seconds. We'll be back on this side of 120 seconds. Your score, the Patterson U 20, the Baltimore Gators 6. This is the A7FL on Stadium. Seconds left in this one, but LJ Smith, there's a whole lot more football left. The 3-on-1 throw-off will bring down, and this one will bounce inside. It will be a valid ball. It's a live ball, LJ, and that one will bounce out of play, and we'll have the reset here. For those watching the A7FL for the first time, when you have the reset on the throw-off, that means he starts from a dead run, no throw-off, and he'll be starting around the 15-yard line. And it will be a good start for the Baltimore Gators, down by 2 scores.
Listen,
but
anything
just
can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. This is an untimed down clock. Will
Correct.
not run here.
So
You
he
will
could essentially run around in circles, right?
Yeah.
And waste, try to run around in circles and do what he can. And he scores a touchdown. Like you said, it's an untimed down.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the exciting thing about the 3-on-1. It's basically a free play,
Right.
and you can make magic happen in just a few moments, and that's only after a touchdown. We saw the Patterson U try to walk this game off with an interception, stifling a great day from Carlos Croslin, who carried this Baltimore Gators team after a really sluggish performance by the Patterson U. And we will see here with 19 seconds left to go on the whistle, and here comes an opportunity for the Gators. The Gators trying to come back here, and this will go to about the 47-yard.
Yeah, he just simply wasn't even really trying to do too much. I guess he just kind of just ran the closest to the 50 as he can. But again, like I said, this is a great ball game. We couldn't ask for a better game.
No, you couldn't have asked for a better defensive battle.
Yeah.
Tons of exciting action. If this is your first time watching the A7FL, I'm checking Twitter the entire game,
Right.
seeing people watching us for the first time, enjoying what we do, and we're so glad you're here joining us for the A7FL. And we've got one more game for you coming up at 4 o'clock.
A goodie, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game between the Baltimore Rare Breed and the New Jersey Hawks. Get to see Mike Liberty, Khalil Green, Mamba Stacks himself. We also have
Corey Hammond, that's
and
right.
And Gerald Llewellyn, a.k.a. Bigga, who had over 200 yards rushing last weekend. He was behind center. I'll fill you in on a bit of those stats when we get to our pregame show at the top of the hour. And we are just about a few minutes away from that. We're excited to be here with you live on Stadium. National audience seeing what the A7FL is all about. This is no helmets, no pads, all action. And you know what? The scoreboard may say 20-6, but this has been the closest game I think I've seen the Patterson U play.
Yeah, you're right.
In almost 3 years. The snap by Crosland.
And there's pressure down. And again, all game he's been elusive.
And Crosland finding the seam, and he's going to try to go down. He's stopped. They might let him into the end zone. No, but he'll run out with just about 8 seconds left to go to 26.
I mean, right now, you got to take at least take a shot at the end zone.
Yeah, right now, I think they just were hoping that he'd run as much time off the clock as possible. They gave him that free lane, but Crosland was smart about it, giving him some advantage. And a little bit of fun there from Rashad Knight, number 10. Veteran in this league, a man whose name I've yelled out many a time.
Absolutely.
And LJ, we'll get your final thoughts on this game once we get to the 4 zeros on the scoreboard. But what an effort by the Baltimore Gators today. One or two things happened differently. This game's a blowout.
Totally different. Exactly. That's the thing. And they don't even have all the key players.
Now, both teams.
Yeah.
Like, we're missing Kareem Moon, the snap by Crosland.
Good ball. Good ball.
Caught!
Good ball.
Is that inbounds? Well, he says it's inbounds. That'll stop at 2 seconds. The ball will be placed inside the 5-yard line.
I just want to know where was this at in the first half.
That level of urgency,
Yeah,
it kicks in at different times.
Right. Sometimes, believe it or not, that the offense like the Quattro runs, that no huddle. Sometimes a lot of times they run specifically as we look at the highlights here. He's bumping and running him on the line of scrimmage, and they're down. You know you're going for that deep ball.
And going stride for stride with a defender like Kyle Ward, who's not had his best game.
No,
today.
He's one of the better defenders that the U has. But today, just like we're all human, right?
Yeah.
So he just had he just had a day where
dreary, cold day, the rain affecting it, the weather shifting dramatically throughout the course of the broadcast. But still, the most important thing, it may not be your stat sheet. It's never your stat sheet. It's the scoreboard.
Right.
And for the Patterson U, just enough room on the scoreboard for them to remain undefeated. Have not lost a game since the 2019 championship game. Throws up, and that on the last play of the game will be an incomplete pass. Your final score, the Patterson U 20, the Baltimore Gators 6. And the scoreboard tells only part of the story, LJ. A great defensive effort from both teams. Interceptions. And that beautiful rainbow throw, the last positive drive of the game for Baltimore.
I hope to see, now that they look at this video, not for nothing, but I hope to see more of those kind of passes. And again, look, this is AOT just working hard, just does not want to be denied. He had a huge game, a very impacting game. And the dance move is not that bad as well.
No, he's got that dance.
He's not that bad. What would you say? 1 to 10? How would you say?
Yeah. He got that. He's got that motion about him.
Exactly.
He can be. Let's put him up on TikTok. Sam, our TikTok guy, put that one out there. A little bit of the Gangnam style.
Hey.
Is that the gritty? I'm not hip. I'm not with it, as the youth culture would say.
That's the huge sack right there that Snags also on that comeback right there. And Snags just looking at the sideline like, listen, man, I do this all day.
The biggest story here today: Kareem Moon not in the lineup. Quattro Huffin able to make something happen. We'll take a look at the stats today. Patterson, 217 passing yards and 60 rushing yards. In comparison, the Gators, 183 passing yards, 130 rushing yards.
Wow.
What a big dichotomy. Kept under 100 yards rushing for the Patterson U. What a big defensive performance. We might see this matchup again in the playoffs or maybe in the A7FL championship game this July. $50,000 on the line, LJ. You were talking about it. You've been talking with players. For that $50,000, you better give it your all. You better bring it. And we saw both teams on the defensive side of the ball bring it today. But the Patterson U, when it counted most, were the ones who were able to light the lamp and keep this one going. And we are going to take a brief one here. We're going to take a timeout. And when we come back, We'll get you ready for our 4 o'clock game. Your final score, the Patterson U 20, the Baltimore Gators 6. When we return, it's the Hawks and the Rare Breed live on Stadium.